man. I get in it, big, get the spaz, and my diamond be dancing. Ain't with the little bullshit, go out like a savage. They say it's my year at the top of the tier. I ain't drop shit yet, but I'm dropping this year. I carry my brothers, ain't calling no newbies, ain't calling no groupies, my dogs in here. I just got a check, now she giving me neck, I ain't asking for shit, she just volunteer. When I hit that little pussy, I keep this shit wet, you can call me Lil Johnny, on God, I be tested. I be closing my eyes when she tapping me out like she giving a sermon, on God, it's a blessing. She be like, hey, have it, shh, don't talk. Okay, I'ma listen, I follow you walk. I got that drip in my walk. That Baccarat got her, she know I'm a boss. I got that drip in my walk. Put them diamonds in my teeth, she low and I floss. I got the drip in my walk. Got the game in control, you can hear when I talk. I got the drip in my walk. Got the power up on them, I'm finna take off. I'm having the time of my life with your motherfucking wife. What a hell of a night. Shot said she wanna come ride with a player. She say you hit you like a date. I had to get in my motherfucking bed. Had to show a young man how to move. Just might have to whoop one of these little niggas' ass and tell them go clean that room. And watch all the dishes, y'all acting like bitches. I really done came from them trenches, let's get it. Hot, bitch, I'm so hot. Bitch, on the shit and you really is not. Yeah, bitch, I'm so high. I turn a good girl to a thot. Yeah. Please, this shit ain't nothing. I thought them niggas was sleeping the same. So we creeping the sun. Late night action. Young niggas loaded and toting and packing. Eat up a beat like a motherfucking pack. Your favorite rapper ass, put it in the trash. I want a ass, nigga on pass. Back in my bag, no Steve Madden. Big push, little bitch, back me. Take a nigga off like nigga what happened. If you running him out, that shit shoulda happened. I don't wanna talk, look, give me them back in. Back this shit a joke like, I then Batman. I then cap to save a hoe. I hit you later when I'm with your favorite hoe. And I rock your baby, put her in the cradle hoe. Like, holla at you later, I'm really getting paper hoe. They be like, that hobby is that the nigga made it 9 times out of 10, so nah, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm tripping, maybe that's the other nigga. What they do? I don't even know his name. Fuck it, bitch on me, boy.
I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. Anxiety, filling up every space, no privacy. And silently, it could build and build until you finally see, whoa, it's taking over, damn no closure, moving closer. No exposure, I just wanna be a loner. Some can't stay sober, looking over all their shoulders, like moving boulders just to get out of the home. It sucks, I've had enough, I don't wanna feel the stuck under the rug, all my problems that I shove. I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. I've been feeling weird, I can't seem to focus good enough. Nothing's really clear, sometimes it could be a little tough. I just need to feel like the end's in sight for me, but let's be really real, anxiety can foggy all this stuff. I've been feeling weird, I can't seem to focus good enough. Nothing's really clear, sometimes it could be a little tough. I just need to feel like the end's in sight for me, but let's be really real, anxiety can foggy all this stuff. It sucks when you finally feel like giving up. Oh God, no luck, everything feels like you're sticky stuck. I'm lost, handcuffed to the bed where I sleep, don't give a fuck. Can't stop, unplug, feeling overwhelmed, I think I've had enough. Gotta find a way to get some energy, gotta find someone who's a good friend of me. I need purpose to make it all worth it, I'm still searching and I'm still learning. I want a life that's filled with memories, not a life with regret and frenemies. I need focus to keep me from hopeless psychosis if I keep moping. I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. I've been feeling weird, I can't seem to focus good enough. Nothing's really clear, sometimes it could be a little tough. I just need to feel like the end's in sight for me, but let's be really real, anxiety can foggy all this stuff. I've been feeling weird, I can't seem to focus good enough. Nothing's really clear, sometimes it could be a little tough. I just need to feel like the end's in sight for me. But let's be really real, anxiety can foggy all this stuff.
Hey man, I feel like our generation has given up on love.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yo, go, go, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They'll deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. You got a mind, but even that could change. You could flip the gray matter like some batter in your brain. That's why I say, fake it till you make it A. And if you play that game, then you just might make a change. Rearrange all the bad to okay. Take the worst thoughts saying, turn them to a game. Take the best thoughts saying, put them on display. On repeat in your brain till you're feeling no more pain. Never slow yourself down, you can do some more. Push past all the pain and you'll find a door. Open it up and finally explore everything that you thought you could never do before. And even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go.
What is happening, people? Coming to you live, Sheepdog, M80 Gaming's. This is the Dog's Den. So excited for you to join us on this exciting match. We have Broken Arrow taking on ICF on Saint Marie du Mont. M80, how you feeling this evening, man?
Feeling great, Sheep. Great to be here. Going to be one heck of a lineup tonight. Can't wait to see how this one plays out. Thank you for everyone for coming back, or if this is your first time, welcome.
Absolutely. And of course, as always, shout out to our stream manager, Drummer. We appreciate all that you do. We're so thankful that you're with us and in the chat tonight. Thank you for all your help, because it gets quite intense, as Drummer can attest to from the last time that we did the stream. And that's all to you guys. Thank you so much for the interactions we had in the last stream. We can't wait to see how it goes for this stream as well. But let's go into it. Let's go ahead and get started. But we're going to talk about the matchups going into this week. So let's pull up the standings. Let's talk about the upper play-in real quick. So we have two matchups in this week. FOC versus EG, fighting in for the first seed in the tournament. FOC currently the favorites going into a match on Omaha Beach. That will be casted by Ham and Trauma Stew at 8 a.m. Central tomorrow and early in the morning. WTH fighting against Refuge on Carentan. They're currently the favorites at 310 under. And that's going to be casted by Lapino and Easy. 2:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Teams that are on a bye week right now in first seed is 116 Greyhounds at Esprit with 2 straight wins. They have punched their ticket in as the first seeds into the tournament, and these other teams are trying to get it to it as well. DC is in the second seed currently, as well as Chimera after losing 2 straight to open up seasonals. And then what about the lower play-in? Well, in the lower play-in, we have 4 matches, all elimination matches. Super exciting stuff. Literally teams fighting for their
Pressure's
chance.
on.
Pressure's on.
Pressure's on, baby.
Fighting for their chance to stay in the tournament. Syndicate already punching their ticket into 4th seed after a win against Alpha at St. Mary Iglesia, with the favorites going into that one. If you want to check out the VOD, Soul Raver and 8DA2K were the ones who were streaming those. Those VODs are already available. Broken Arrow, the one we're going to be streaming today, Broken Arrow versus ICF on St. Marie Dumont. Currently, Broken Arrow, according to the bettors, are the favorites. 313 under in this elimination match. JoJo is the Chinese caster for this, so if you want to watch in Chinese, go ahead and check out his Bilibili. Phoenix taking on the Circle. Circle currently the favorites going into this match on Carentan at 368 under. That will be casted by Jimbonium at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time tomorrow. And then last but not least, the biggest disparity in the betting odds, Cerberus. 887 under in this matchup in St. Mary Iglesia against the South American powerhouse, Ronin and friends. By the way, Vanguard and Merc are part of that group as well. Shout out to them. But they are 593 over. Biggest underdog of the entire week. Angelo De La Morte and Kips are going to be the casters for that. So any notable matchups, anything that you want to point out, and maybe about all these matchups going into week 3 of the tournament, right before the group stage, by the way?
I think you've nailed it pretty well, Sheep. I'd want to be one of those teams in the bye week right now, though. Get a little chance for a breather, kind of regroup, analyze your strats going forward. I mean, you have a lot of time to prepare, and that is premium time. So good for those teams now. Good for those teams that got it.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, it's funny. We were talking to some guys from TL and Esprit, and they're like, "Nah, we want to play." Honestly, want to play, and they've already chalked up their weekend. But it may be good for them to reset. It may be good for them to reset, look at things, watch how other teams play, get a little bit more intel about the other teams, especially going into it, because for the teams that are in 4 seed right now, they're going to be facing off against teams like Esprit and Greyhounds and whoever comes out on top in the last 2 upper play-in matches. So it'll be really curious. It'll be really interesting to see. But let's go ahead. Let's talk about where we're at in the tournament currently. We've already kind of talked about it, but let's go ahead and we'll break it down with the brackets. So right here. So as I previously mentioned, Esprit and Greyhounds have already punched their ticket in. FOC and Esprit matchup that happened on October 22nd, as well as WTH and Greyhounds, because DC lost their first 2 matchups, as well as Chimera. They are currently in 2nd seed. Whoever wins these upper play-in matchups that we have currently on the screen will go ahead and punch their ticket in the 1st seed, while the other 2 will join Chimera and DC in the 2nd seed as well. But most of the teams are in the lower play-in, and we're going to show you that here right quick. 4 teams have already been eliminated from the tournament. LW, Fins Let Loose, Valkyrie, and Central Alliance have already been sent home packing.
Not the Fins. Sheep. I love them. I know
you're really hoping to watch them.
I was rooting for them.
I know, man. But 4 teams have already punched their ticket in to the 3rd seed in the tournament and get a bye week this week, as we already mentioned, TL, but also IR, GBI, and 82nd AD. All 4 teams have won their first 2 weeks of matchups. They are safe. They go into the group stage of the tournament with more life. Alive, more breathing room, but there are four matchups where teams do not have any breathing room. This is it for them. They're all 1-1, make or break. They're all 1-1 in the tournament, and they will enter week 4 hoping that they have sealed the deal, done enough to earn their spot in a 4th seed, and then unfortunately have to face one of the upper play-in teams, one of those top 8 teams. Actually, it's going to be more like top 4 teams. One of those top 4 teams that have proven their worth against some of the best teams. And it'll be really what happens with that. But, if you're one of these 4 matchups, these 8 teams that are fighting for their lives in the tournament, what do you think you're telling your guys? What do you think is the main message to those teams?
You got to stay calm at this time. It's easy to get overwhelmed, have a little anxiety, right? And say, man, guys, if we don't make it, we're done. Like, it's easy to think that because that's what's on the line, right? Yeah. But you have to stay composed. How Let Loose is a time game. And if you let that time slip away from you, you have a little too much anxiety on the field, start making risky plays. Now's not the time to do that. Now's the time to stick with what you know, stick with the strats that work for you, and bide your time in these matches. If it's a midpoint cap match and you hold midpoint all game, hey, you're safe, right? So
Yeah.
that's what I'm thinking if I'm one of those teams.
I agree. I think you look at the matchups, you look at the VODs of the previous teams, and you're looking to see, what can we exploit, what advantages do we have, what do we need to do in order to be successful against this team. But we're not looking at them in terms of like, oh, they're gonna beat us, or oh man, we're gonna crush them. That is not the mindset you need going into this on either side. Yes, confidence in who you are, absolutely, but you do not need to go into thinking that you already know how the outcome is going to be. You just take it for what it is. Because guess what? You have no idea what those points are going to be. You have no idea. You know what the map is. You know what side. You don't know what those points are going to be, and those points can change the entire dynamics. What I love about Held Out Loose, man, is you just never know. Every single
Keeps you
matchup is a
guessing.
complete. It
Keeps
keeps you
you
guessing.
guessing.
Absolutely, yeah. It's not like COD or not like any of these where the maps are already predetermined. You know where the spawn points are and everything. You don't. This is an entirely different thing. Everything is up in the air until you get in it. Literally, like in that warm up stage where you're like, oh crap, like. It's going down. It's going down for real. And that being said, let's go ahead. We'll get into the chalkboard session. And Matey, go ahead and take it away for us. What do these teams need to focus on, both Broken Arrow and ICF? What do these teams need to focus on, strategize going into this match on St. Marie Dumont?
Well, thank you, Sheep. Yeah, let's take a look at this. So the map St. Marie Dumont tonight. We have ICF on Allies, Broken Arrow on Axis side. Looking at the map, as always, you got the center 3 points. We have Dugout, AA Network, and Pierre's Farm. I say it every week, and it reigns true every week, in my opinion. You got to take that midpoint. You got to do what you got to do to take that midpoint. So let's start with Pierre's. Let's zoom in a little bit here. So if you're Broken Arrow, you've got the main road outside St. Marie Dumont to roll up in. Now, it's risky, right? Because you could have rocket snipers. You could have a lot of variables that take you out. But you got to get to that point. So however they do it, they can go there. They can kind of break out outside St. Marie Dumont, approach that way. Then come through this graveyard and approach. Maybe even get some pressure back on Pizza Slice and push in there towards Pierre's. Pierre's is a wild point, though, right? Because it's a fair point in a lot of ways. The U.S. side, ICF, I would bank they're coming down the road, but they also have some flanks up here. There's kind of a blown out trench network, great garrison spot, allows pressure up into Pizza Slice. And there's another plane right out here outside Pierre's. Get a little elevation. Then you have kind of a wheat field. You have very little cover. You have some concealment to push onto Pierre's, but it is not an easy push sometimes. And we'll see how quick each team gets tanks up there. We know tonight tanks are going to be a big part of this game. They're a big part of every game. But outside of tanks, for Pierre's, artillery is vital. There is nowhere to hide from it on Pierre's. It is you're in the mix. You're in the devil's den, so to speak. So I know all our viewers love when we shout artillery, artillery. So I will be saying that tonight.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So let's move on now to AA Network.
The slugfest, man.
It is. I hope for this point tonight. I really, really do. Again, there's a wide variety of approaches. If you're coming in as access for Broken Arrow tonight, this little area to the, I believe it's to the west of AA Network, there's a field and a small house complex. Good spot for Gary once they take the point. Just to the kind of south near Hamlet, there's a good Gary location spot that's blue line. So that's where I'm looking at. Another good approach is to the east side of AA Network. There's kind of this fence row and a bunker, and you can move a lot of concealment through this field. So that's kind of where I'm looking if I'm Broken Arrow. Another weird point near AA, a strong point, if you will, is these three houses off to the side of the point, kind of the westerly side of the point. It's a crossroads. And with crossroads, you're going to have kill lanes. So you want your MGs to get set up there if you're ICF or Broken Arrow. I'm wanting to set up some MGs on those crossroads and really shut down those avenues of approach. So if you're ICF, you're shutting it down towards the Axis side. If you're Broken Arrow, you're trying to shut it down towards the Allies. Now, with that strong point off to the left of it, there's also this ridge line. This ridge line plays a vital role for both AA and Dugout.
Yes.
Probably a little more for Dugout, but AA network, it's important too because it's an elevated position. So if you can control that, you stop a lot of wide flanks on AA network. AA network, in my opinion, yes, tanks are important, but they're a lot less important than Dugout or Pierres. Now, if we're looking at ICF's approach, they don't have quite a straight shot, but there's a small complex back here on their side. Get up a nice blue line for them, and then push into point. Maybe try to flank through the wheat field into AA network, or strong point this trench line near this cemetery jungle area up here.
Yeah.
That's a big control point for
It
ICF.
is. Big spawn
Huge.
point as well. Big spawn point as well, but for both Dugout and AA as well. So
Yes. So regardless if it's AA or Dugout, that's going to be vital. And then getting your OPs up. There is some frontal assault ICF can push on to AA network.
It could be tough,
and then
man. It could be tough, man.
It's hard, and especially if Broken Arrow gets set up in that house right up here. We've seen some guys be able to get up on top of that house. I don't know how they do it. Hagrid is one of them.
If he's in the chat, dude, freaking, I say it every single week. Show us your wizardry, my man. Like, come on, man. I'm still waiting for it. If you don't hit me up on Discord, I'm gonna be really mad. Mad.
Yeah, Hagrid, holler at us.
Yes.
So, AA network is a balance point. We're gonna see some closer range engagements. Artillery's still vital. I hope for AA network tonight. I'll be a little disappointed if it's Pierre's. We just see a lot of action on Pierre's, so I'd like to see something a little out of the norm.
Yeah.
Now let's move over to Dugout. Let's look at these 4 grid squares. Basically, Charlie and Dog 5 and 6. So let's look at Broken Arrow's approach first. Dugout's a weird point.
It is
on this map. So if you're Broken Arrow, you're probably going to come down this road, maybe try to get a blue line over here. Put up a little garrison marker, maybe try to get a blue line over here. That'd be my
It'd probably be further
place.
east just because of the open fields right there. So that's,
Could be.
They have that complex up on the southeast side of Dugout, that intersection. That seems to be, somewhat ideal, but just a lot of open space on that south side.
There's a lot. There's a lot. Yeah, maybe right here in this little waterway system.
Yeah.
Not horrible, but the problem with that spot is, again, that open run. This doesn't look like a lot of open ground to cover, but it is. It's hard. It's hard to push that.
Yeah.
It's only about half a grid square worth, but it's just hard to push that. So I think we'll see, if it is Dugout, I think we'll see Broken Arrow move more to the south and encompass this AO to push into point that way. Try to take these houses and capitalize a pincer move in there.
Yeah.
Regardless if it's Dugout or AA, both these teams are very seasoned, very smart. They're going to look at this ridge line again. We were talking about it on AA network, but for Dugout, it's even more important.
Yeah.
Just vital to the point.
Very.
Now, tank play on Dugout's important. We see it. We usually see some standoff with tank play at Dugout. We see tanks on that ridge line we're just talking about. Either team, if they can control it. And then we see some tank play right around here for ICF, and maybe some far tank play right on kind of that blue line for them. So that's going to be vital in Dugout too. Dugout's got this weird kind of death corridor. Right on this side, there's 2 houses right in the center of point. And whoever takes that, we've seen Garrison survive bombing runs in there. It's wild. Wild. So Dugout, whoever takes Dugout, the incumbent's going to have a very hard time the person taking it back is just gonna have a difficult time doing that. So if you're ICF, you might honestly push these Dragon's Teeth. Or not Dragon's Teeth, excuse me, but kind of the barrier section. There's a few Dragon's Teeth there, but there's a barrier section off these houses, and try to punch in a point. Maybe try to wrap around, eliminate trench lines, or break through and control the Strong Point 3 housing complex there. So there's some different strategy ICS could employ tonight if the point's dug out and capturing it. They have a lot of open ground to cover too, though. Mainly being this little wadi way just to east of dugout and moving through. It's Breacourt Road is what it is. There is some pressure. I hate to say, hey, push the road, but those hedgerows on either side do provide a lot of cover and concealment for a push. Combined with smokes, it's the way to go sometimes. Sometimes it's your only option. You know, when we look at the map as a whole, right? What makes AA Network a more fun point to watch isn't just its topography, it's its location on the map. This range true for almost every map. A center point allows way more room to work on caps, right? These side points, dugout specifically, makes for very hard flank maneuvers. You almost have to go, if you're ICF, go wide, or if you're Broken Arrow, go through a network and try to get something behind them. We see some stalemates on these side
and
points.
Wide flanks, and that's where it gets really tough. Is that it ends up being, you know, I think really one of the keys to success for either of these teams is the balance of how wide is your line going to be. Because if you stretch it out too far and someone exposes you and collapses in, then you're going to lose the point. But if you don't keep it wide, then they can flank around you and possibly, you know, catch you by surprise, and then boom, you're done. You know, you don't take point taken and everything. We saw that when we casted TL versus Chimera. Chimera had an extremely wide line, and just TL focused on what was important. And that point was dugout. And what they focused on was that road, exactly what you were talking about, between dugout and AA, as well as the southwest side, those buildings, making sure that they had a contingency on the point, you know, just at least one squad, but also covering them from that northwest approach from those buildings, because it's just open ground. If you don't attack, if you don't get that approach from that northwest side immediately, so hard to push afterward, especially with tank coverage. But that being said, the same thing goes for ICF on the north side as well. If they can take control of that road on the east side of dugout, and this goes for any of the points as well, get your line. But that being said, you know, for our lovable losers, for the best of the rest, you know, the real question is, you know, they're facing a team that is extremely talented in armor play. The real question comes down to, can they overcome the armor elements of ICF? And I mean, Matey, what do you think? Do you think they have enough gun skills to take this, or do you think that this is going to be a problem for them?
Well, I'll say this, because I've seen Broken Arrow play, and I know a lot of those guys. I don't know a lot of ICF. What I do know is they have good armor. Broken Arrow has solid small unit tactics, very solid small unit tactics. With that comes AT. But AT is only as effective as its flank, meaning there has to be a spawn point on the flank to get AT on, right?
Yes.
However, I caveat that with smokes. Because dugout, A network, and piers are open, it also allows freedom of movement for Broken Arrow from these tanks. And that's what that smoke does, right? It conceals. Yes. Now, the tanks may lay down evasive fire, but they expose themselves. What we may see happen tonight is AT guns come into play by Broken Arrow if they're losing these armor fights. An AT gun can radically change the nature of tank battles.
Yeah.
It's weak, it's slow, it doesn't do a lot, but it does enough. And that may just be the answer Broken Arrow needs tonight.
Yeah.
We may see some radical plays by Broken Arrow with some light tanks, with some recon tanks. I don't know. I'll be very curious to see what they do with a Puma tonight.
I would be too. One of the things that Huzzah said is that a strength of Broken Arrow is they love forest maps. The weakness of Broken Arrow is they love forest maps. This is not a forest map. And the problem, and here's what may end up being an issue for Broken Arrow going into this, is that they're not a team that have shown to other than on forest maps, like when they played against Alpha and they came out and they were the underdogs. I would venture to say, and I would say most people thought of them as the underdogs going into that match against a very talented Alpha, and they won 3-2. They held Hill 400 for the entire time, basically, and it was incredible to watch. And the interesting thing will be, and I think what you talked about is vital. Smokes, right? That's going to be extremely important. You being able to move and maneuver in position, but the speed. I mean, how many times most matches, honestly, that we've spectated and seen, there have been a few that have been the exceptions. One of them would be Syndicate versus Alpha. That would be an exception where the points changed hands multiple times. But you're not, if points are being taken, it's usually in the tune of 5-0, not back and forth. And
yes,
and Broken
Arrow,
and
that could change with the tank play. We could see tanks forced to close in from ICF. That's Broken Arrow's best case, is forcing these tanks as close as possible.
Yes, absolutely. So we'll see on their positioning. We'll see how they keep their lines and whatnot. But do you have any predictions? Do you have any predictions for this match? It's a tough one to predict, in my opinion. I know what the better say. Broken Arrow is the favorites going into this. I mean, they have a pedigree. As for them being as new as they are, and they're a composite of like BR1, they're a composite of Easy Tack, of
some 10th Mountain guys.
Yep. High pedigree guys on this team, and they've become this team in a short amount of time that I don't think anyone really saw coming. They're new to the scene, and they came out and they won the 18v18 tournament. So they have gunfighters, and we've seen that time and time again. This team is filled with just straight up ballers with a gun.
And they know small unit tactics.
Tactics.
They employ, but you're right, speed. How quick? I mean, a tank's worst nightmare oftentimes isn't another tank, okay? It is the infantry surrounding you because you just can't rotate quick enough.
Yeah.
So, yes, obviously, if you're in a Panther and you see a 76 roll in, your sweat, right? But my point remains that infantry can be a bigger threat to these tanks. I hope we see some satchels tonight. Landmines may sound crazy, but landmines, nobody thinks about it.
Mm-hmm.
But landmines are vital. You clog up. I predict it's going to be Pierre's, but I hope I'm wrong. But on either team, if they can get out and get some cheeky landmines over by Pierre's, or same rings true for Dugout or AA Network, you get some landmines on these. Even though Dumont's an open map, there are choke points, mainly for vehicle and armor. And you get those landmines in the right spot, and you may just change the nature of the game.
You can, absolutely. I mean, and gosh, if you're a Hello Lose player, man, just stepping on a freaking landmine just out of nowhere just takes the wind out of your sails. It's demoralizing. And oftentimes it just comes at the most inopportune times, right? When you're getting on the point and whatnot. So it's going to be really tough. We're getting really close to match time, real close. Probably another 5 minutes until we're supposed to start on it. People are starting to fill in. Super exciting, ready to go. Again, this is an elimination match. These teams are fighting for their spot. They're a 4 seed in the tournament, but also just the chance to stay in the tournament. Both teams 1-1 in this tournament. ICF fought against LW, and I gotta say it was an overwhelming win, 5-0 against LW. And so Broken Arrow had an incredibly dominant win going against Alpha. They drew a tough matchup against 82nd AD.
Yeah, sometimes you do. And
so it's hard to hate on them when they just had a team that's just a European giant. So it will be curious. It'll be really interesting to see what happens. But I'm excited. If I had to venture and guess, trying not to have my North American bias in there, which is inevitably
It's
going to
hard.
be in
It's
there.
hard.
Inevitably going to be
To be
there.
fair, yeah.
First off, I think it's going to be 3-2 in one team or the other's favor. I just don't see either one of these teams pushing off. But I also said the same thing about other teams too, that it hasn't rang true. You know, Esprit versus DC, I would have thought would have been a very close match. It was not. It was a 5-0 match with Esprit being extremely dominant against a DC
On
team that's.
Inglés, St. Marie
No, it
Inglés,
was one of the beach
right?
matches.
Or Carentan?
No, it was one of the beach matches.
Oh, Utah, maybe.
Like on
I'm
Utah or
getting-
something like that.
Well, and Utah's pretty open. That's what I will say about Dumont. Zooming out, what I think makes you right on the 3-2 prediction is if we look at Breakcourt Battery, Rue de la Grey, Cattle Sheds, or looking at the Axis side, Hugo's, Hamlet, or at the Church St. Marie Dumont, lot of freaking ground to cover from third point. And it may not be worth it, right? If you're the team that's got the point, yes, probe as much as you can. You may get a little pressure, but why risk it? You know, it becomes a hard question to answer. There's lots of variables, but with these teams, I don't think we're going to see a lot of aggressive play on point capture. I think we're going to see defensive play with probes.
I agree. And I just, you know, the interesting thing will be with that, if that is the case, right, then either one of these teams, like, more than likely the way that they get onto points is either they brute force on the point, which is highly unlikely given the fact that just both these Broken Arrow is extremely competent in infantry play, and I would say the same thing about ICF as well. So, you know, these teams are pretty evenly stacked. It's going to be creativity, and it'll be really interesting to see if either one of these teams can do something creative, whether that be, as I say, every single match, half tracks. If you can, if you have the available fuel, I would say absolutely half tracks. But even more so, you know, let's go back a week, right? Let's go back to when we watched Esprit take on FOC. We've talked to many people since then, and one of the things that seems to be the common opinion on that match was FOC took too long to commit to a full frontal assault onto third point. And I would say that, you know, like, there were a couple things they could have done. They could have done, you know, way earlier in the match, they could have done, you know, a wide out flank, try to get an airhead garrison in the way far corner and then flank from the side. Or, you know, there was not that many troops that were south of their second point. They could have, you know, said, like, okay, we're going to commit a lot more guys, and we're going to try a full frontal assault, screw the bridge, let's go take third point and see if we can just take them by surprise, overwhelm them on the numbers game.
And a half track might have been that.
Half track might have been that, right? Absolutely.
St. Marie Dumont allows for a lot of cheeky half track spots.
It does.
And at the end of the day, a half track is a backup, right? Because it's a slow spawn. But if it's all you got, it's all you freaking got. Absolutely. And half tracks come into play for hard pushes. When that timer starts to run out, you're praying you have a half track just to throw something at the point.
Yeah.
So we may see, you know, depending on tank play, I think half tracks are actually more vital for early spawn than late spawn. And then just leave them there. They're not, you know, pull them out when you need them. Have that little chip in your back pocket, if you will.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, absolutely. So, getting real close to time here. We see people filling in. We'll start getting everything set up here.
It's going to be a hell of a match tonight.
It is.
Regardless,
I think it will.
Hell of a match.
I definitely think it will, and you know, I'm so excited, so ecstatic to see I'm just, there's a lot on the line for both these teams, and even more so than just the fourth seed. I mean, like in just staying in the tournament. I think that both these teams, their reputation in a way is on the line, right? Broken Arrow I think is really trying to show they're more than just an 18v18 team. They had a good showing in APL in the 35s, obviously lots of success in the 18s, but this is their chance to show that they have what it takes to be with the
Kind of
big
the
boys.
next iteration.
Yeah,
The next iteration
this is the top of the top in terms of the HLL pyramid. Trying to show like, okay, maybe they do belong in the top 8 teams. Is that the case? I don't know. I think as the tournament goes on, one thing that the World Series is going on, right? And Texas Rangers to the Diamondbacks, and one of the things that we've seen is that some players and some teams, they become better in the playoffs. They have a way of being able to switch on, and when the moment is up, when the time is right, they have a way of flicking the switch in their brain and essentially like turning it on and being like, let's be the best version of ourselves. And some teams and some people crumble under the pressure. And so it'll be
easy to do. It is a lot of pressure, right? I mean, this is everything you've worked for coming together, the cumulative. This isn't just a skirm. This isn't just another matchup. This is seasonals.
Yeah.
And this is where you prove it. This is 100% where you prove it.
We need a slogan now. This is seasonals. Yeah,
just like this is Sparta, with the kick.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Absolutely. For those of you who are watching, thank you so much for joining us. We'll be getting on real shortly. They are filling into the matches right now. Super exciting. Be sure to check out the streams tomorrow. We already had one matchup between it was Syndicate and Alpha. Syndicate already punching their ticket into the tournament in the 4th seed. But we have multiple matchups tomorrow, including Ronin versus who is it against Ronin? If you look that up for me.
Yeah. I'll look that up here.
Streamers like Jimbonium, I believe he's doing the circle match. So that'll be really interesting to see. Angelo De La Morte and Kips are going to be streaming tomorrow as well.
Cerberus,
the Chinese,
a
Chinese team that is shown to be extremely strong in this tournament. Maybe underseeded a little bit. So it'll be really interesting to see how they do against Ronin. Ronin, the only South American team in the tournament, are trying to show that South Americans are good at HLL too.
Yeah,
they deserve a place. We love Ronin.
I like Ronin.
Love Ronin.
Good tank players.
Absolutely. Wild. I love to see the wild play that Ronin does, and even more so, they got good buddies with Vanguard and Merc who are helping them out as well. And both of those clans are really good players, really good teams. Merc, well-renowned, well-regarded in the HLL community as well. So it'll be really interesting to see as well. Obviously, we have the upper planes as well. Teams like FOC, EG, Refuge, and who is the 4th team that's going to be facing off? But all those teams are fighting for first seed in the tournament, and they'll be playing whoever wins in these 4 matchups that we got going, including Syndicate. So be real interesting to see how that goes. I'm ecstatic. I'm stoked for it, and I'm just extremely thankful for everyone that is hopping into the chat,
thanks guys. Thanks for being here. Glad we could do it. Thanks, Mr. Nitro, and all the boys from TL for putting on seasonals. That's not an easy thing to do. Coordinating hundreds of people, hundreds of matchups, times all across
over
the world.
1,000 in a way, So it's amazing. Obviously, the next phase of the tournament is going to be the group stage. It's going to be the group stage. It'll be a little bit different. We'll have 8 matchups going into next week. We have 6 currently for this week because of the bye weeks for some of the teams that got their 2-0s early, in the first 2 weeks.
Yep.
So it'll be really interesting to see how those groups turn out. I'm not sure entirely. I saw the question for the night. What is your favorite role to play in HLL and why? What do you think, Amity? What's your favorite? I could guess. You want me to guess at what your favorite role is?
I'll tell you, and I probably shouldn't say this, but I'm not a very good shooter. Role specific, I would say Artillery is one of my favorites, but I'd like to hear, what do you think my favorite role is, Chief?
Commander.
Commander.
Yeah.
I do play Commander quite frequently. It's a role I enjoy.
Yeah.
It's a stressful role, though, right? Because if you do bad, everyone hates you. Everyone, like, dogs all over you. But if you win, it's so rewarding. One of my favorite strategies to use just for fun is an all-out charge.
Yeah.
Something I feel you don't see a lot in Hell Let Loose, and people just love it.
Yeah.
See people pulling out their shovels and knives,
Yeah,
throwing
absolutely.
smoke grenades and heading into the slaughter. What about yourself, Sheep? What would you say your favorite role is, or your best role?
I would say my best role is squad leader. Best role is squad leader is one I have the most experience with.
You're great. You're great.
But I love me some engineer satchel action. I still haven't got the satchel for the assault class, but I love me some get that trench gun, that stick. And by the way, map has just been flipped. We're going to switch over to the match play here. Extremely excited. Here we go. Here we go. Extremely excited for this, guys. Extremely excited. And we're going to get into the squad, get ready to go.
Like I say, Sheep, every time the first 5 minutes are everything.
Yes, absolutely.
So, I cannot wait. Cannot wait.
Yes, I can't either. I can't either.
I want to see ICF. I'm actually really excited to see them play tonight. See how they do on the ground too, right? See garrison placements, OP placements. How cheeky are they going to get, and which team wants that center point more?
Absolutely. Absolutely. The speed is just going to be critical, right? Like, I think that's the crux of it all, is who gets there too. And it sounds like such a it sounds like such the obvious answer, right? But really, who gets there first is just so critical. It really is.
It is. And who can put that pressure, who can put that proxy pressure into point, who can get directly on point too and hold it down. We may see Broken Arrow take the initial, right?
Yeah.
Just because those tanks haven't made it.
And here is the map. Here is the map. We have Hamlet, dugout, and cattle sheds. We're going to get this up. A little bit technical difficulties, but we will get this up.
That pressure
here.
Is so vital this first 5 for both
It
teams.
really is. And by the way, we have the map is up, gentlemen. So it's going to be cattle sheds, dugout, and Hamlet are points 2, 3, and 4 dugout. We talked about this. I mean, what's going to be extremely important, that road on the right-hand side. We'll see if Broken Arrow can get their tanks in play. Currently, they have. Do they have 2 Luxes? Are they going to use 2 Luxes? It doesn't look like that is the case. I'm only seeing. There we go. 2 Luxes in play now. We got a Puma and the medium. For Broken Arrow
getting a little audacious with the tank play early. I think
you got to. I think you got to. You got to get as many armor on this point as possible. Absolutely. So look at that right there. So you can see the supply drop coming in from the southwest side of dugout, a little bit farther back than what we talked about in the sesh, but you got that road as well right there that's going to block it out. And here we go. Let's see if we get a visual on ICF. Coming in. They've dropped supplies here on the northwest side. Yeah, I agree. I agree 100%. And we could see here, there we go. Truck and a Stewart coming into play on the northwest side of dugout. Not seeing anything coming up the middle yet. The real question mark.
Coming. I feel it. I
do too. Absolutely. I feel it too. We could already see pings for the house that's on the east side of dugout. Will be interesting to see if it's a little bit too spread out. You can see that truck here coming in on that northwest side as well for ICF. And it looks like they have already gotten real close to the point.
What is this little fella going to do? They're pushing these light
driving
tanks in just as
across
fast
the
as they
open
can. Look at
field.
this.
Can they get there in time? The real question is, can they get the tanks there in time?
High ground. This is that high ground right here.
And look at that, already dropping off rocket shots. Looks like ICF is already occupied on the northwest side of the truck. Look at that right there. Trucks
Strong
driving
point.
right past each other.
Contact is about to be brutal, fierce, and heavy. Already coming in now.
Broken Arrow immediately doing cap progress on the point. And you can see
Gotta
there,
get
look
it.
at that. Contact on the east side, ICF. One guy goes down, dyslexic. Taking him on with Ajax in, helping him out.
They're holding down the crossroads, which is important, but ICF's got to get a little more pressure along that road.
Absolutely, absolutely. You can see here, it looks like there's already tanks coming in. I like this. Look at this Lux right here. He's just flooding in on the northwest side.
He's gonna push
infantry
it.
support at all.
Go, baby, go, Broken Arrow.
There was a Stewart right there as
play.
well. He may get hit in the back here.
See how quick he is. See how quick he is here.
No
Chief.
shot. No shot on this Lux.
Okay.
And now 2 Luxes on the point. Cap Faker already half past for BA. We have a little bit of pressure up on the center. Look at that right there. The medium for ICF has been hit on that northwest side. Already
Broken
trying to repair.
Arrow, violence of action.
Absolutely. And you can see here, here's what's really interesting. So not a whole lot of pressure for Broken Arrow on the right side, but that is where ICF sent a ton of guys. I think that's a mistake. I really think that's a mistake.
I don't know. I don't know, Sheep. I don't know, because they could be playing a long game here.
They could.
They could be. And will Broken Arrow respond? Point change. Point change in favor of Broken Arrow.
Yeah, that's going to be a 3-point tanking for Broken Arrow. And we got contacts already here. You can see here that there were supplies that dropped in gardens on the north side. So ICF going to try to get a garrison up as well, I would assume, based on the amount of people that they had on that northwest side and the supplies dropping. They got a garrison up on that north side as well, northwest side
Flares
of the point.
going up as well.
Yeah,
Flares.
absolutely.
Gotta have that.
And you can see here there's a tank up. They know that that medium tank is here on the north side. He must be repairing. Nope, he is repaired. He is up. Trying to get shots. Infantry pushing it for ICF, but Lux laying it down.
These Luxes, man. These Lux teams.
Oh, but look at this
wild.
right here. He's going to get an open shot. Lux goes down. He gets hit in the process.
Oh.
Not sure where from. Already just banging around
Shell,
this medium tank.
Look at it fly. Look.
Already having
hit
to
again?
repair, but the Artie is coming in. The real question is, did the Artie take out the 2 tank guys repairing their tanks? I'd be really curious to see. I just want to hang just for a second to see if they takes it out real close. Not gonna get him.
Little bit of a RFG on that.
And just that Artie, it's just brutal on the north side.
They know the OP's there, so they're honing in.
You can see here laying down fire to try to get further down the road. But it's just a tough approach. It really is a tough approach from that center. And it looks like I'm just going to... There goes a tank or a truck. I'm not sure what. A Stewart is down. Stewart is down on that northeast side.
Was that not a truck there?
No, they identified it was a Stewart tank. With infantry support, it goes down.
Oh, yeah, there it was.
And,
it was tucked in there.
It was.
It was tucked into that.
You can
little,
see a big push for ICF up on this east side. You can see here there's OPs already for Broken Arrow as well, but they are pushing the trench line as well. And if you see here currently, Broken Arrow pushing on the northwest side. They have their Puma up on the northwest side. They've pushed them back. And real quick, we'll have to go check and see if the garrison is still up for ICF.
ICF, I think, is
Dyslexic goes down.
Wide flank here.
Yes. And maybe, I mean, and here's the deal. We're almost seeing a shift, right? So ICF is able to push on this east side a little bit. They're getting close to the intersection. Getting really close. But the question is, I'm going to roll over here to the northwest side. You can see how far back they have pushed.
Broken Arrow has
look at that Puma.
Look at that push. That's huge for Broken Arrow.
Agreed.
Shut down that
And
flank.
look at this right here. You can see here, Fat Egg has got a garrison on the northeast side of Cattle. You know, they talked about they're slow to start, so they never win more than 3-2. Look at that tank!
We may see something different.
unbelievable AT shot. That must have been at least 200 meters away. Another one. Down
Inbound.
He goes. What a
Down he
crazy
goes.
AT shot for
That's
ICF.
a sniper. Man, that's a sniper shot.
Incredible shot. And I'm guessing we're on the blue line. There can't be a garrison here anymore. So they have eliminated the push on the northwest side. There is now a garrison for Broken Arrow. You can see here where it's at. They're dropping more supplies. I'm not sure if they're going to try to get an AT gun or if they're doing backup supplies. But they have multiple supplies now coming in on that northwest side. And you can see here...
ICF getting pushed back on the right too. A little bit. I mean, they're getting pushed back at all flanks right now.
There was presence here. There was a presence here for ICF on that intersection. No longer the case, and they have pushed them back. Big contingency still. They are not out of this
jungle.
Look
they're
at that.
home down the jungle.
Medium just in the middle of the open field. He just took a shot but deflected off. It looked like the tracks almost. But he's got infantry all on his right side.
There's
he is
that
facing
smoke.
west.
There's that smoke coming out from ICF. They're starting to counter push.
Look at this. I like this push.
Big
the question
push.
is, does this Panzer IV maneuver to
He's
it?
got to respond.
Infantry pushing in for Broken Arrow. They're responding in kind. Look at that. Boom. Poke
Can't
getting
wait
them.
to see our boy Almighty or Huzzah in here. I know they're
Almighty
on the battlefield.
is commanding right now, and he's doing. I would say just look at this line. I really like it, and look at this right here. I'm about to go over and check real quick. Let's see what we got.
Are they going to push cattle?
They're pushing on cattle.
Gosh.
And here's the crazy part: there is no infantry on cattle at all.
ICF, you gotta commit somebody on D, right? You have to commit somebody.
You do.
Even if it's one guy or your tank's pushing through. A very dangerous predicament.
Yeah.
Very dangerous.
No garrison. I'm not seeing a garrison.
We got something kind of special planned for tonight. I think it's about time for something special. What do you think?
I 100% agree, and I'm going to pull it up here. It's time for Wix time. Wix, what do you got for us? What are your first thoughts after this Broken Arrow taking this point? What are your thoughts on what's going on right now? We're going to check the map real quick. Infantry coming in from the northwest. Wix, what do you got for us, my man? And we're going to check out his mic real quick. But in the meantime, currently, let's see what we got. Broken Arrow already pushing cattle sheds. A squad leader coming in. There's one squad leader for ICF on the point. They are pushing now. And now we got Wix. Wix, what do you got for us? What are your first thoughts after Broken Arrow taking that third point?
Yeah, really outstanding opening for Broken Arrow. It really couldn't have gone better for them. Even getting all the way up that west side to the border of the red and blue zone. I mean, getting that garrison up on map edge over there. Just, you expect Axis to really get dug out off the beginning, but they've even gone beyond the expectation and really completely boxed ICF out of the sector. The key things to watch in the next part of the game is right where your cursor is. There's that hockey stick-shaped trench right in the middle of E5. That's going to be a key point because if Broken Arrow can get control of that area, there's a hedge line right by that TOP marker that will, if you get a tank there, you can see almost all of the north side of the map. Broken Arrow is salivating. I can tell you their armor is salivating at the thought of getting a tank there and just completely denying huge portions of the map to ICF armor and infantry. So that right there, E5 is going to be a real important part for the next part of this game. If ICF can get to the 5-way intersection, they have a chance to threaten dugout. If Broken Arrow gets all the way to dugout, then it's going to be real tough for ICF to recover.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much, Wix. That's an extremely important point. And down it, I mean, just as you said that, the medium just went down for Broken Arrow. That may be a turning point, but here's the question. I'm just starting to see contested point on cattle sheds. Broken Arrow, just a couple guys. Down goes the squad leader and ICF. Right there, stealthy. And Lanehart laying it down. They are pushing into cattle sheds. They are capping. They are capping. And very little response.
My goodness.
Very little response. And just Broken Arrow. They are searching for those spawn points. They may, I don't know if they've taken them out yet or if they're just looking. But, I mean, they got 3 guys on Lima's squad. 4
crazy.
four
Look
guys.
at this pressure. I did not expect this from Broken Arrow.
I did
tonight,
not either.
especially based on what they told us.
There's a Greyhound coming into play now. There's the garrison right there for the enemy. There is a garrison for ICF that's on the north side of the point. The real question is,
are they going to get the
where,
spawn?
Where
How
are they going to
react?
Absolutely. Are they going to deploy on this point? And I don't know. I'm not seeing it yet. Hey, guess what? Look at this right here. Mikey pushing for the garrison. They've identified the garrison now.
Oh my gosh. He's all over it.
Oh my
goodness.
That
Greyhound has to defend cattle. If you're ICF, what choice
I just saw an explosion. Must have been a truck. I'm looking for it right now. No, yeah, just a truck kill. But I love this. They're pining. Look at this.
They may get
on the
this
north
point.
side. Oh.
They've got the pressure. They've got the precedence. It's this team play, this aggression. Now the Greyhound got to get some AP on
got
that.
Him, man. He missed that AT shot.
Just barely.
Barely. And look at this. But down goes the Greyhound.
Down it goes. AT to the right somewhere. Who was that? Zoom in on that guy, Sheep, real quick. Who was that?
Rye. And Fat
what a
Egg
shot.
Now pushing it.
What a quick
Absolutely.
response.
And now, looks like ICF getting back in. They have taken back cap pressure. But here we go. We got to go back to dugout. But here's what's happening.
Red
line garrison on dugout right here. Look at this right here. ICF has an engineer on the southwest side with a boomstick. Ready to come in.
Man,
there he is going on dugout. And
that's Broken Arrows. They got to do something here.
Not sure who it was, but ICF pushing into the point. But cat pressure going back in for cattle.
Broken Arrow's committing. Broken Arrow's going to commit to the cattle, I think. They have to. I think they have to now.
And they just have overwhelming numbers now. Overwhelming numbers. And I am not seeing any ICF guys. There is no response at all. A little bit on the southeast side, but look at that gunplay.
It's too far.
Here we go.
The proxy.
Yeah.
If they have a reinforced, that's about to burn out.
Yeah.
If they don't, should have used a freaking half track or something. Broken Arrow's exemplary squad play is doing everything.
Look at that bombing run. But it's through cattle. But it's through sheds. It ain't going to do nothing.
It may not matter.
Bunch of resources just being used, and it ain't going to help.
That's going to hurt ICF long run. Here we go.
I think it is
Here we go, Sheep. Here we go.
About to be a point taken for Broken Arrow. They're about to go 4-1. This is exactly what they said they wouldn't do.
30 minutes in.
And boom. There it is. Point taken for Broken Arrow.
Man, I did not. This is blowing my mind.
And look at this.
Now,
look at the map.
Hold on, though. This blitzkrieg, you got to be careful if you're Broken Arrow. You don't want to get too strung out. You want to get reestablished at dugout, right? Get that Gary back up.
Now, they got two garrisons. No garrison on the point or south. And looking like, just like that, just what we were talking about. Point already being capped back in favor. We got guys for ICF coming on the west and the east side. And Broken Arrow needs to respond, but look at this. They're already getting guys back into play on the northwest side. Infantry going down for Broken Arrow. Big spawn wave for Broken Arrow off of the garrison. We see multiple squad leaders coming on the north side, but it may be too late. ICF already taking it. Sharpie banging. Down he goes, ICF. Taking the cattle sheds. And just like that, already getting capped back.
ICF may recap this point. If I'm Broken Arrow right now, I need to get reestablished at dugout, right? The blitzkrieg did its job. Now it's time to really get garrisons. Get that foothold at dugout you need.
Yeah.
If they lose cattle, that's okay.
Yeah.
It bought them enough time for establishment. And maybe that's the plan. I'm not sure. Maybe that's their plan.
So the real question is, because I agree with you 100%, and you could see that on the map here, right? Budget squad leaders pushing up on the northwest side. You got guys who are pushing out to gardens. So they're really forming a line where I don't think the goal is necessarily to hold cattle sheds. It would have been nice. Would have been really nice. I think they could have done it. But hey, there's a garrison here, by the way. This is where the enemy garrison, or I said the enemy garrison, the garrison for ICF, just south on the blue line for Winter's Landing. And the garrison is just lit up for Broken Arrow, but it's not going to matter anyway. They're going to lose it once this point is taken back for ICF. They're holding strong here. I hear a tank. Here's the 76. He's been hit. Been hit
hurt.
again.
Oh, hit again. Hit
Not
again.
sure where he's getting hit from. There is a tank right here.
Look, 2 heavies on the field for Broken
heavies.
Arrow now.
And he may just been gotten out of trouble depending on the
back
angle.
in favor of... No? Did it go? Did
Yeah,
the point
it just
change?
went. It just went. So it's going to be back to 3-2. Back to 3-2.
Point change over.
Point change. And now they get their foothold back. But Broken Arrow, look at this. I'm going to swoom over here. You got infantry pushing in through gardens. It'll be really curious to see what they can be able to do. There's no ICF anywhere near it. And then also, I mean, what do you think about this? What do you think about this push on the northwest side? Do you think this is a smart move by Broken Arrow? It seems way out there. Well, I mean, what's your thoughts?
Well, if you're ICF, you got to take that corridor back, right? Broken Arrow's shutting it down. In my opinion, they're a little too overcommitted with the Broken Arrow's guys here. But a couple guys may go down and they may reposition, and that may not matter. So they're keeping that wide spacing. You want off space if you're Broken Arrow, and they're keeping that.
Yeah.
ICF has to take back the jungle, dude. Breakcourt
I
Manor
agree.
area over there.
It's going to be
They
extremely
have-
difficult to do at this point. Look at the infantry that is all over the point. Broken Arrow has done a really good job of using that cap on cattle sheds to move up. I mean, that's just a weapon in and of itself, just to cap it, get guys just panicking, and now they have to solidify. They had to pull off. They had cap pressure, but it wasn't enough, and they get the cap back. It was just, I mean, just overwhelming force. It was a brilliant setup. Right, Broken Arrow with a garrison that was on the northwest side of the point, northeast side, I apologize, of the point.
If you're ICF, you got to get a... Now's the time for a wide flank. Broken Arrow caught ICF with their pants down, and they slapped them around a little bit. But
Yeah.
ICF said, whoa, guys, we understand what kind of match this is now, and we're here to play. And so they recapped that 4th point cattle sheds, and I think they're going to respond. I think we're in for a full match tonight. Sheep.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I absolutely think so. I think, you know, Broken Arrow has put themselves in a really good spot, but it's not over yet. Pissix, and then an MG from Scythe gets them. No
Man,
garrison
good
or
little
anything.
spot.
I saw that there's supplies in the open field. I saw a spotter moving, I assume trying to get some type of garrison up for ICF. They are not going to do the trick. Still, tanks for ICF laying down hate, but we've seen a lot of tanks go down for ICF. Get hit, go down. Not seeing any real repair station or anything is a really interesting choice. Just not really supporting their tanks a whole lot. They seem to be playing. Here's one of the 76s right here for ICF as well. No repair stations anywhere near. I would have thought that would have been the case, but no such thing. And they've taken back cattle. Not really anyone on. They've pushed out. So there's not really any sense that there's really any push, but look at this right here. They are pushing through gardens. I really like this push by Broken Arrow right here through gardens. You know, no garrison. Yeah, here they go. Garrison right below me right here on the edge of gardens. I really like that. And here we go. The Tiger pushing in. He's going to push onto the main road. There are 76s up ahead. We'll be really curious to see what they do. But so far, I would say Broken Arrow has been taking the tank fights to ICF, which is probably a surprise.
Yeah, not what I expected. Heck no.
Really interesting.
These heavies are going to play such an important role coming up here. Such an important role.
And you can see here that there's one Tiger here
Look at that line.
and another. I love the line. It's almost this L-shaped ambush that's going on in cattle. O squad as well. I don't know if they're going to try to get a garrison set up. The fat egg
cheeky.
again. Yeah, just like they did the first time. Just like they did the first time. Be really curious, really interesting to see. You can see there, that's the crewman for ICF right there. A tank has got to be just to his, the Tiger's 11 o'clock right there, but not visible yet.
Good concealment on that Tiger. Do you think Sheep Broken Arrow is going to try to make another play for cattle, or do you think this is just white space hole for them?
You know, I look at this, I see ambition. I see ambition in Broken Arrow's eyes. I think Wix was exactly right, almost creaming their pants at trying to get to to Gardens, and he was exactly right. They have taken Gardens. They've pushed even farther than Gardens at this point. This Stewart, this looks like desperation to me. That when you got, I could be wrong, but when you got Stewart's in play, I mean, he is not that far away from the enemy, from the Broken Arrow Tiger, which is just right there. Not aiming at him yet, but you know, the real question is, does this Broken Arrow get some intel on this? And
yeah, good reconnaissance is such a big. Here's a little bulge from ICF off Cattle, though.
Yeah,
they got flanks set up if they can just get there. But it's a lot of
it's hard, and the problem is that Broken Arrow has set up a line, so it's incredibly difficult. What I think the strategy is right now for Broken Arrow is do not let them push straight to the point. Do not let, like you said, do not let them take Gardens, and they've done exactly that, and I've been extremely impressed with that. But ICF ain't out of the fight yet. They have established a line right here on the hedgerow. They are not letting people push. You could just hear the cadence of gunfire going down. But they're already going down. It's back and forth over here as well. I love the smokes. Smokes coming out in the field. I believe those are ICF smokes. AT shot. Gonna miss, but what do you think? What do you think about this approach right here on the east side for ICF? It's a little bit of a struggle. It looks like Broken Arrow expanding their line a little bit out. And look at this right here, the Tiger for Broken Arrow pushing across the open field.
Trying to get on the other side of those smokes. I think ICF has a shot to exploit the line. Will they do it? I don't know. These tanks, they can shut down such big avenues, such giant corridors, control big map spacing. ICF still has a shot. They may have to send a couple guys through like Pierre's almost, and just go for a full sweep.
That's a tank shot right over the head of this Tiger. Right there, you can see it right there. The Stewart that could.
Hey, stout little tank. We'll see how long he makes it here. The Tiger knows.
Missed. So. The Tiger just missed. And he's got shots overhead. He's got to know now, right? He's got to know.
He's looking. He's looking.
Right down. I mean, it's just right in front of him. He doesn't see him yet.
Man, that Stewart may have dipped back. He may know
just spawned right in front of him. There's an OP for.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Down goes Stealthy. Slideshow surrounded.
IFC
right
can't get too caught up. Here we go.
But down he goes. It's a trade.
Oh, trade. Look at those bodies. Just Hell's Corridor right there on that corner.
Yeah, absolutely. Sherby walking right past. There's the OP for ICF, just right on the north side of the hedge. And Sherby pushing out. I think that Stewart is still up. I mean, the fact that he is still up on this road, I kind of, you know, I was kind of hating on it, but at the same time, if you can get guys covering this road, do not let them push on this road. You know, look at that, and right, just like that, taking out infantry. But he's got a guy coming up right behind him. He's definitely, yeah, doesn't. Oh, look at that right there, infantry out, armor out of the tank. Down he goes. They're down a crewman by Sherby banging. He goes down, but he got one of the crewmen.
Man, oh man.
They haven't done. They got a garrison up. Broken Arrow has gotten garrison up on the northwest side, and they have pushed up. They haven't pushed a whole lot since we last mentioned it. They just got a flare up. A few infantry pushing on the east side. Let's go ahead and look at the east side of Dugout and see where ICF has gotten. You know, here, just like you were talking about, this isn't exactly Pierre's, but they got MG fire, crossfire coming across the open field near Pierre's, and we could see infantry pushing on the east side of midpoint. If they could get around.
I'm telling you, they've got enough time, right?
Yeah.
We still have over an hour of play.
Yeah.
And we're seeing but Broken Arrow, the thing they've got is establishment, so they can respond almost quicker. I mean, ICF, I don't know. You got to just sneak somebody through.
I agree.
You just got to sneak somebody through.
I agree. Broken Arrow has done an incredible job. And there he goes. The one guy pushing on his west side.
That was their shot.
Sasquatch getting them. And I mean, and what I love, you could see here, you could see the response from Broken Arrow. I mean, look at this line.
It's almost a V.
It almost
have
is
like
a
this
V.
huge shield.
Like the quiver, like a bow. Like a bow
Yeah,
with Broken Arrow.
these merry men, dude, they know what they're doing. Little joke, Broken Arrow, they're known as the Quiver, so they got some. So you may hear us throw out some Robin Hood references now and again.
And look at this,
to the viewers.
They just built up, and this is exactly what Wix was talking about. They just built a repair station up on this northeast side where you just can see all the overview of the north side, and you could even get shots on cattle sheds. Really digging it for Broken Arrow right there. Now there is a bit of a push back. They're starting to get into gardens. ICF smoke routes for Artie coming in on the north side. Boom! Artie on the north side.
Artillery coming in. First time we're observing it here in a while. Look at the.
Why not? Gets him!
Oh!
But he gets down as well. Taken out as well. Look at this. Stewart pushing up. Right on the Tiger's ass! Oh my gosh! Look at this! Incredible! Takes him out!
Oh my god!
Takes him out!
Oh my gosh!
What?
Stewart!
The Stewart
just took out the Tiger.
I take back everything that I said. Everything that I said. ICF taking out the Tiger. Oh my gosh, Broken Arrow. If you're watching the VOD afterward. Gosh. What a play.
That was insane.
And now the response by Broken Arrow. I love this. You know, they were a lot more on the southeast side, just like on the map right here. Artie shots coming in. A lot more on the southeast side. They have now responded back to gardens. They just set up a garrison way north, so basically due west of cattle sheds, and they're pushing back through. Artie shots for ICF, raining hellfire down.
Bombing run. Huge response.
Does not get the garrison. And just brutal for ICF. Close, but no cigar.
These men in tights are going to respond to the jungle,
they
right?
Are.
ICF, it's going to become a bloodbath.
Jester.
Bloodbath in here.
And it is just a tit for tat in this garden. It's just absolute bloodshed. You can see here ICF pushing towards Jester. Down he goes.
Unbelievable. Oh.
I love the flares too. They got constant reconnaissance.
You gotta have them. You gotta have them. If you don't, you're just hurting yourself at the end of the day.
Just saw a tank shot for ICF. Let me see.
Where'd that come from?
I'm trying to get visual.
I'm hearing it. This guy.
I'm hearing it. It's not in cap. There we go. 76 right here for ICF moving southbound. You can see where it's at on the south side of cattle sheds. Now pushing down to go help support his boys on gardens. And they're smoking the hell out of gardens right there, trying to push. ICF still got life in them, still got breath. And there was a tank there as well. Was that a ICF tank as well? Near midpoint? Stewart! Is that the same Stewart? This Stewart is just going!
This guy says, I don't give a crap about nothing, and I'm just gonna push.
This is the honey badger of hell let loose.
Insane. This Stewart's such a stout tank, too.
It really is.
So we got 57 minutes left. I'd be curious. Let's see if Wix will tune in here and give us some of his thoughts. What do you think,
Wix, let's get it.
Yeah, so I think, right after I spoke the last time, we saw Broken Arrow go and capture cattle sheds. And even though they didn't hold it, if you look at where the map was immediately after that, all that control in gardens, all that control on the west side, they got from capping cattle sheds and forcing ICF back. What we've seen now since then is ICF grinding back the other way. Gardens still a little bit in Broken Arrow's control, but definitely not as strongly as it was before. We've seen a couple Broken Arrow tanks go down, some in extremely embarrassing ways. But ICF's grinding back, pushing back, getting back towards the key areas. Gardens to hockey stick to 5-way is going to be a key area, what we see right in front of us here. And yeah, I'm curious to see what happens with the tank battle. I see 2 Broken Arrow Tigers coming up. If they can get them in those power positions and just play some strong defense, there was the hope maybe of the 4-1 or the 5-0, but don't give up the 3-2 for that is what I'd say. So look to see Broken Arrow kind of not quite turtling, I wouldn't say, but they're probably going to be a little bit more cautious now. I think they've lost a little bit of the initiative. They're still in a really strong position, still playing really well, but ICF is not giving up. There's still an hour left and a lot of time for them to grind them back down.
Absolutely, I 100% agree, Wix. 100% agree.
Yeah, thank you for those thoughts, Wix. I think they're solid, and time will tell, boys and girls. I mean, time will tell in this match. ICF, I think, is taking a little more pressure on
there was a Gary
the jungle.
Lock that Stewart just went down. But look at this.
They needed that.
The crewman for the Stewart. Is there anything they can't do? And look at this right there. He goes down. Can he get it in time?
Is Gary going to go down?
Oh, my gosh.
Oh.
Down he goes. Sasquatch barely saving that
on that Gary. Man.
I mean,
savior on that Gary right there. Closed that hole. Closed it. Just shut it down.
So, what's really interesting right now, a lot of what Wick said was extremely insightful because, they got 2 Tigers. One of them is pushed up on this road right here. This is not a conventional spot necessarily for armor play. But they're content with holding on the north side of the point. We usually see tanks wider out, but this is a little bit different because they've taken control of that northwest side, which is not very common in these matches. So it'll be really interesting to see. And down Lucky McCluckface taking down Bits.
What a name.
A beautiful name. Beautiful name. Need to get a poll up. Best names that you see in this Hell Let Loose match.
Yeah, that would be legit.
And look at this. I mean, literally, ICF within 25 to 50 meters of the garrison on gardens. I mean, they are pushing.
They want it. I mean, and you have to take it.
A satchel on the wall for ICF. Really clever, really creative.
Interesting play. Really interesting play.
And there's got to be OPs for ICF here on this north side, which means that literally, we got an OP battle going. Literally, guys just pushing OPs. 76 here, pushing back. He may run into this Tiger that's on the main road here. He's backing up. I don't know if he has the intel. I don't know if he does. No, he's still back there. He's still stuck on the building.
That's what Broken Arrow's done so well this game is keep ICF on their toes and intermingle, right?
Yeah.
Yes, Broken Arrow has the line, but they continue pushing that line, and that's vital to this game. And ICF is just playing on their toes a little bit.
And
so
Uncle Light
right now.
Absolutely, Uncle Light taking out guys. He's just holding this corner down. He's got 4 guys pushing him with an OP.
They're coming. They're coming.
But he's distracted. Does he know? Boom! There he goes, Uncle Light getting another guy. Sherby banging. Lionheart right in front of him. Now he's gonna push up.
Down he goes. Oh my! Oh, down he goes.
And Skiz, the last one on this OP. Blind Nut now coming in to reinforce. And just like that, I mean, look at this. This Tiger is not aiming towards the 76 that's near him, but then again, not in line of sight.
He may not know. He may not know, too. Right? I mean,
and we'll look at the map real quick. We have squad leaders in Cattle Shed. We have 1 squad leader, Fat Egg, hiding in the corner. Over there.
Over there. We've taken a German OP.
Doesn't he know?
Back at man.
Bragging. I mean, it's just literally CQB action right now. Just hide and go seek. Is he coming in with a satchel? Is he gonna satchel? Unbelievable. Got him. He got the satchel down. It's the Fat Egg move.
Egg's gotta move. He heard it. I
don't know if he did.
Maybe. No.
And now he watches the doorway. I mean, look at this guy with the tactical sense. He knows the dude's got to push out, right? If he heard it, he knows the dude's got to push out.
What other choice does he have?
Yeah.
I mean, that satchel's going to go pretty soon.
I'm curious if it gets him. Because if it doesn't, Cat Progress Got him. That literally just saved the cap progress. The garrison
Man.
just opened up. It was
That
locked
was a
when we
play.
last
That
looked.
was a moment.
It
right
was.
there. That was a
It
moment.
was. There was cap progress in favor of Broken Arrow. There is a garrison. There's an OP as well on this north side. Broken Arrow gonna try to do what they did originally. OP's. Take a look at this. OP is lighting up
May
near
pan
Dog
out
OP.
for him.
Just a couple guys pushing. And it is just, I mean, it's really like there's tank play, but really a lot of this, boom. Down he goes. I believe that was an MG taking out that AT guy for ICF.
Broken Arrow, they understand they've got to draw these tanks in close. They just understand it, and they're doing it well. Man, they're playing it well.
Yeah. This tank having to retreat. The Panther 4 has been hit. He is retreating. And we have some response, but check this out. I believe that's the Fat Egg. Fat Egg continuing to push.
He said, the Fat Egg says, I'm not giving up, cattle. I'm going to fight till the last moment here on cattle.
Now the question is, where is the garrison for ICF? Do they have a response? They've responded with a couple of guys on. I'm not seeing, so Broken Arrow is not committed to the attack. They're probing.
Which
They're
is
just probing
smart.
right
Which
now.
is
Yeah.
smart, right? See kind of what response you get, where you get those pressures, how often they come in. It's a smart tactic.
You know,
it really is.
I agree. You know, Wix talked about it, and this is the rub of it. You could see ICF developing a line on the north side of dugout. You could see where that line is at, like near these, even past the trenches. You see on this wall. You can see on the map right where they set up. But ICF has developed a line. I guarantee it. Do not pull off too many guys, otherwise they may start pushing through. I mean, literally, like it looks like this is a tit for tat affair for both Broken Arrow and ICF right now.
Broken Arrow's got to keep the pressure on, because if they give ICF any wiggle room, I think ICF's going to exploit it. I really do.
I do too. I really do. You can see here, AT Rocket taking out Lee Jax.
Oh, what a shot into that strong point house.
And now
Heck of a shot.
Puckdis and Lucky
What a
McLuckface
response.
have to respond in kind.
Surprisingly, not a lot of pressure on that flank from
in
ICF.
favor of
Dugout
ICF.
pressure.
There's a push on the
Oh
south
my
side
gosh! What
for
do we get an
ICF?
airhead? Here it is. Here it is, boys and girls. Saddle up your britches, because
And
we're in
there's
for
a
a hell
spawn
of a
wave
fight.
for Broken
Oh,
Arrow.
look at
Big
that
spawn
response.
wave. This is where
Oh
Artie
my
is critical.
gosh.
This is where Artie.
Does ICF have a bombing run, Sheep?
I don't
That-
think they do. They've used a ton of resources at this point. I'm not sure they do. Cat progress going back in favor of Broken Arrow, but now they have a battle on their hands on the south side.
ICF getting established. ICF's going to commit. They're going to commit to this. This is
Is
the
it a
shot they
garrison?
got.
Is it a garrison? That's the real question. Is there a garrison that they set up? You
I'm
got
looking.
Broken Arrow
I'm-
guys.
Good back line. Maybe back in that corner.
He's holding.
No.
I don't.
And maybe in the house. I would put it in the housing complex.
Well, if they
you're gonna put
did, that would be a crazy move
It
by
may-
ICF.
it may just be OP rotates. That may be what
Here's
we're
OP.
seeing. is
Well, we see a ton of
rotates.
OPs in this courtyard here. They have stacked OPs in the courtyard right here. At least two. History Builder, Almighty Fallen, and Mikey responding.
Almighty.
But down
getting in the
Almighty
fight.
goes, and History Builder pushing the OPs. That makes
History knows. He knows they're over here. He has to.
and he's gonna push these OPs here. One goes down. I just saw one go down. So they may be pushing past him. He just got all three of them. History Builder, a moment. And you can see here. And then now Broken Arrow cleaning up with the tanks. But getting a hit on the rear of it.
What? This medium says, screw you, ICF. I'm going to find you, and I'm going to dig you out. I don't care if it costs me my life. Good response from Broken Arrow. ICF
Absolutely.
not out of this, though. Not out of this by a long shot. Oh, buddy.
Unbelievable. So Broken Arrow responds very quickly. I mean, the garrison is there, but look at this right here. He's pushing the garrison, but down it goes. Mikey taking him out.
Golly.
Garrison's still up. You could see underneath this is exactly what we were talking about in the pre-match
Oh,
show.
there it is.
With the
Yeah,
garrison
yeah,
that's underneath the shed.
Tucked
The bombing
in.
run, I don't know if they'll protect it or not. They just identified a garrison here. I'm not sure. Did they take it out, or if they think that's where it's at? But they're getting squeezed in here.
Pull one. I don't think ICF's pulled one. I could be wrong. I think they're using OP rotates.
That's the thing, is that if a garrison is there, you would have thought it would have locked up based on proximity, which makes OPs real smart. But check this out. They're pushing in for the north now. They take a control. And another spawn wave.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Look at this spawn.
Another spawn wave by Broken Arrow. Grenades in play.
Oh my gosh.
Artie now coming in.
Oh, Artie. Oh my gosh. This is insane. This
10
is
seconds, a little bit too late. Artie, more Artie coming in play. And then look at this. You can see it in the chat. These people on front door. And look at this. They have identified now. They have to identify the spawn. They did early because the guy was just right on the garrison. They're just going to bomb the living shit out of the point.
They're going to come down the main road, Sheep. They're coming down the main road. At least 3 coming off jungle.
And this is what was incredibly smart by ICF. They pulled guys on the south. And when they pulled guys on the south and opened it up on the north, they were able to take back. There is no infantry support at all on gardens. And now they've pushed to the front door. But they've responded in kind. Broken Arrow now getting a little bit of control in the north. Not really any control in the south for ICF anymore. A Tiger moving up on the lone squad leader.
This was what a play by ICF though, because now they've consolidated Broken Arrow to the point, and they're gonna start getting approach garners in. They did exactly what Broken Arrow did, except they just didn't cap the point. They pulled them back, and with that, they got territory back. They used the cap pressure to move their positioning up. But here's the thing, Broken Arrow is now pushing back. They just took out an OP. Droznik taking out an OP. Look at this push.
It's a beautiful
Broken
push.
Arrow wants it back. Let's throw it over to Wix for a second. I want to know what he thought about that.
Absolutely. Wix, what do you got for us, my man?
Yeah, I think you guys are right to call attention to the fact that was a lot like how Broken Arrow took cattle sheds, but one of the kind of perils of that attempt is if the defense is ready for it, they're going to choke it off real fast. You can cap points by getting map control and squeezing the point and capping that way, or you can trickle in the back like we've seen in this match. But it's a real fine. You're really living on a razor's edge there with those backdoor takes, because like we saw, Broken Arrow responded and snuffed it out. But at the same time, but to a lesser degree, we see that ICF is making progress because of it. So that's why those kind of attacks are successful. That's why you're going to see Fat Egg all game. Legendary Hellaloose caster Fat Egg all game will be probing at cattle sheds. Maybe they'll never cap it, but they're going to keep ICF honest and keep their guys falling back to deal with him so that their front line can make progress. So, you can look at that and say ICF didn't capture the point, but they took some ground. They pulled Broken Arrow back the same way it happened the other way. So we see it going both ways, and it's working a little bit for both sides, and we're going to see it more over the last 45 minutes of the game.
Absolutely.
Could not be more right. Could not be. Look at this pressure on cattle, though. I saw some cap pressure for a second.
I did as well. It's contested on the point. ICF having to respond on the south side. There's a garrison up for Broken Arrow again on this northeast side. They were content with just continuing the push. And it's working. It's working. A medium Sherman now having to respond for ICF. Apologize to the camera. Having to respond. But looking like that, look, there's multiple infantry now, not just the Fat Egg. But we got Don Vice, but boom! What a shot by the medium Sherman into the cattle shed, taking them all out.
OP's still up in there, it looks like, though.
The north side. So Fat Egg has established his OP somewhere here. He's already got supplies there, by the way. He's already got supplies.
I thought
OP's gone. No, OP's gone. And look at that. There's an airhead for Broken Arrow.
That's audacious.
So the question, it's going to be on the northeast side. The question becomes, is a bombing run to follow? That would be I wouldn't think so, given the fact that there's not. So. They know what the infantry is. They have the intel.
This is a 40 chess move, okay? I think Broken Arrow understood they lost a lot of ground on that ICF push onto dugout. And they're dropping this as kind of a diversion to pull some ICF members back and get reestablished on those frontline Garys. I think that's what's going on. We're seeing a trade for space at dugout, really.
You may be right. Look at this. The squad, they're already responding to the airhead. Caesar, I say that. Is he just waiting for it?
He's going to frag it. He's going to frag it.
Yeah, he's just going to wait for this airhead right here and see if they can
missed
spawn
it. He missed it.
Got
He's
it.
Push. There
got
it goes.
He got it.
He got it. Yeah, he got it. Frags take out airheads, boys and girls. Most people know that, but if you don't, you do now. So
that's the undeniable proof right here. I'm going to get a bird's eye view of what's going on right here. So we had one squad leader on the southwest side for ICF, but right now they have established a line. You can see here another push on the northwest side, and then now Broken Arrow starting to push back into Gardens. But ICF is there to respond in kind.
Drasnik pushing through.
Yeah, Drasnik getting him.
What a shot. What a shot. Quick snapshot there on him on a lean, it looked like. Man.
And Artie shots just laying hate in Gardens. There's a, the spawn wave Jabbar goes down and ICF still has OP.
Close. How many will they get off it, though? You know, they probably have another 20 seconds.
And here's the 76 coming in.
What Broken Arrow's done with Cattle is they forced that medium to stay back
there.
And
OP just went stealthy, getting the OP. He's running up. He may have a satchel. Be real curious to see, but he turns in. Boom, buddy point, stealthy.
Body parts on that
and
one.
Just beautiful tanking. That was a beautiful move by ICF. I know it's just one guy, but if you've ever tanked, you know that that's not an easy thing to do. Not an easy thing to turn on the fly, get a shot like that.
Harder it is.
Right? Absolutely.
We're seeing Gardens jungle area become a vital point in this map. It is on this map no matter what, but we're really seeing how it's switching hands back and forth. Broken Arrows kept them on the move. They're not letting their tanks, not letting ICF tanks really get established. And I think that's what's helping them a lot right now. Not seeing a lot of AT guns, though. Not seeing half-tracks. May not be resources for it right now, right?
Well, they must be struggling on tanks, right? You know, they're pulling. I say that, but they may be. This is a strat that we haven't seen a whole lot, where it's just they're constituting and subbing, you know, Stewarts in place of heavies. You know, get them in. I like it. I like the mobility of it. I think it's a great idea. We haven't seen, you know, if any. Oh, that's a tank shot on the 76. Believe that's a Tiger. I can't see it. He's shooting. You could see the angles that these guys are having to shoot through just to get shots, but you can't see that Tiger. There's a Panzer IV right in the distance. You can see that's where they're trying to lay shots on. I'm curious to see, can they get a shot on it? And you could see just shooting through trees. I mean, this is when you know you're playing with professionals, man. Like literally just shooting on angles.
It's a whole nother level of tank play.
It is.
You know, some pubs, and they stack these tanks kind of off kilter of each other. They're not pushing them right on top of each other. You know, they want to keep them alive as long as possible. And that's where repair stations come in to be so vital.
At this, an AT guy goes down, but he's on the point. They're sneaking guys on the point. ICF is just a bunch of ninjas just sneaking in on the point.
Not bad. You got to keep those probes up. Got to keep Broken Arrow on the guessing game too, right?
Yeah.
There's that Tiger on that high ground just to the right.
This medium right here is empty. It is empty. Is
really?
Online but empty.
I wonder. I bet you they got a heavy spawned in and they wanted to commit to that heavy, which is smart.
It is.
Use it as a decoy, right? If nothing else.
Yeah.
Or if you get out of your tank and you're close, run and hop in it and make some plays, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can see here, the hockey stick that Wix was talking about is right here. And Broken Arrow is currently in control of it. But there is infantry just north of them. And we haven't seen ICF really try to take control of this hockey stick yet. If anything, they've been content to collapse down to center, just due north, and try to come in like on the road north. It'd be really curious to see.
Yeah. Still 36 minutes, a lot of game left to play. Can ICF get those lines reestablished? Little bit of a hole there in dog 5 line, kind of center. A lot of open ground.
Infantry. There is infantry
little bit of a
there.
bulge. You push up, they may have a shot. Now they may be afraid of that decoy tank, right?
Yeah.
Just its presence says something.
Yes.
But Broken Arrow's going to have to respond to this. Maybe a center push from ICF. Little audacious, maybe not the best play, but maybe the only play they have right now.
Yeah.
So Broken Arrow's got to get something out there.
And look at that, just tank shots over the ridge. That is a prime spot for a Tiger right there to be laying down hate. Just the elevation and the visibility that you get from that position. I mean, literally, like, this is where the 76 is at right now. Boom! And just like that, getting a shot, he's going to have to back up. No, the repair station is that a, it's gone. It's gone, just like that.
It just disappeared.
That was a glitch of some
weird.
sort. And
He's
now
got
they're
a repair
fully
guy
repair.
with him.
Yeah, they repair it, and then they're gonna pull out
at him
everyone
commit.
out of the
They're all
tank.
gonna commit
Bro,
to
it's just
this.
like a freaking clown car. Just everyone get out, just do the Chinese fire drill.
Yeah. Sheep, you couldn't be more right about that. Get out, everybody, switch seats, and we'll get back.
I promise you that was not because they're Chinese. That's just the phrase.
It's just what it's
and just
called,
like that,
guys.
too, infantry go down for Broken
Look
Arrow.
at that ICF.
And
push,
ICF
little
just
wedge formation.
knocking on the door of dugout.
Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. We'll see if ICF can pull it out here.
The real question, Broken Arrow, I mean, earlier they went and they stole all the money out of the coffers of ICF. Does ICF return the favor? They still got 34 minutes. It's not panic time yet, but we're getting a little bit into crunch time left. A little more than 30 minutes left for ICF to get a foothold. Drasnik going down on the north side, but he's pushed all the way through Gardens, basically.
Good push, good push. Broken Arrow has said this match. I'm going to look at that. Who's that? Docs is saying, I'm going to steal from the rich.
Oh, they're
and
pushing
give
the
to
garrison.
poor, baby.
Joe, with shots coming
Taking
in on him,
fire.
and gets it. He goes down, but it don't
play,
matter. He got the
good play.
garrison.
Huzzah! There was Huzzah there,
Huzzah.
too.
Yeah, but a
one
tank
of the
just
merry
took him
men.
out.
Nothing but body
And here it is,
parts,
the
but what a merry man he
76.
is.
Here's the 76 right here. He's got a Tiger due south of him, but not visible. Big infantry push over here on the west side. Sorry, east side.
I think it's going to get shut down by
There's
Broken
a garrison
Arrow.
right there. You can see on
Not
the map
the
where
push.
it's at.
Not the push for
And here's
ICF.
the crazy part, is that they've already, good intel by Broken Arrow, they've already identified that at least there's an amount of infantry. Little do they know there's a garrison there as well, and they're going to focus on it. I love the intel. I love the communication by Broken Arrow.
You know, when you're playing these infantry pushes, and Broken Arrow's doing it well, distance, direction, description, and then they suppress by fire, bound with Overwatch. They're doing it. They're doing fundamental tactics, and it's paying off. They're just aggressive with it. ICF is gonna have to get more audacious. They're doing good holding, right? They're trying to probe, but they just have to get a little more pressure a little quicker. And Sheep, I would love to get Rex's thoughts on the tank
just
play
about to say.
this game. So
Let's get Wix in here. Wix, what do you think about the tank play going on right now currently for both teams? Just like that, a shot coming in on the Tiger. Unbelievable shot. I mean, it's literally coming by the thinnest of margins. And whenever Wix is ready to go, we'll get his intel, his insight on the tank play going on during this match. Wix, what do you got for us, my man?
Yeah, so I think we've seen some interesting plays on both sides. Obviously, the Stewart about a half hour ago now killing the Tiger was a great one. But we see kind of a difference, I think, in what Broken Arrow's been doing lately than what we saw a little bit earlier in the game. They were pushing up a little bit. They were getting aggressive. And now, we've seen the transition into kind of what I call like the field position game here. Both sides are just trying to prevent that breakthrough to kind of end the game. So you see Broken Arrow's tanks just taking power positions, just sitting here on Overwatch. They're going to hold down the main lanes for infantry. ingress towards dugout, and they're just going to wait it out. They have the midpoint. There's no reason for them to start pushing tanks indiscriminately right now, and you kind of see them doing that. They're sitting in the high ground, the power positions, and just taking fights as they need to. But I think that's smart. I don't think there's really no reason that they have to be pushing up, and they're sitting in the most important spots to be right now.
Well, I got you, Wix. One question I have. If you're the commander for ICF right now, what are you thinking? Like, what do you think is your best option to get to third point and start getting cap pressure?
I think you got to get these Tigers off that hill. First of all, I'm not sure what the fuel situation exactly is for ICF in terms of heavies on the field and fuel and everything, but one of the best ways to capture the point is to just kind of push with an overwhelming armor contingent, and because that's kind of what's going to break the stalemate right now. I mean, maybe your infantry pushes through, maybe not, but we've seen them pushing like this for 30 minutes and not a whole lot has changed. If you can build up some fuel, get a few 76s, get a few Tiger kills off that hill with maybe infantry sneaking up or maybe AT guns in the back line. There's a lot of options, I think, for them to work on those Tigers, and then you bring your own 76s in at the end. We've seen that work for other Chinese teams like FOC. Build up your armor, get ready to push, and when the time comes, just start driving over them and see what happens. I mean, I think that's really the best bet right now. I don't really see an infantry breakthrough really going one way or another. Maybe some more backline stuff, some trickle in from behind. I don't know, but I don't really see much of a breakthrough happening without, a real big kind of armor presence from one side or the other pushing with them.
100% agree. Thank you, Wix, man. I 100% agree. And
he's so right.
Yeah,
he is so right.
He really is. And the coordination.
Maybe push a half track too behind the tanks or something.
Well, the biggest push that we've seen, there's been two big. Really, I say two, but it's really been one. Is when ICF was able to get behind on the southwest side. You can see it here, and actually, just as I say that, there's an engineer, not a squad leader, but an engineer here for ICF on this southwest side. I'm really curious to see if he gets the kill or not. But he may. No, he doesn't.
He sees him. He
missed him.
Miss again.
And
miss again. What is going to happen?
Both of these guys need to get a little bit of A-Labs practice in.
I can't say anything about the worst shot in hell let loose.
Oh, but look at that. Now he's in a little bit of a pickle.
Hot water here.
But you can see here they've solidified their position. And Broken Arrow solidified their position on the west side right here.
What Broken Arrow's done so smart, Sheep, on that west. You're right. They're going to sit up there and they're going to sweep. I think their idea is to kind of sweep across, collapse, ICF back onto cattle.
And just like that, there's a tank trying to get shots. I don't know if he's just barely not visible. I think no, it is visible, and now he's moving forward. He's turning. He's been hit again. Now he's in cover.
His butt's a little exposed there, I think.
But he's moving back right into position.
You don't want that tail end of the tank exposed, even with angularity. Okay. We got some repairs coming in from Zombie. That's great. Crossfire getting out to repair.
And he's got infantry right in front of it as well. AT and engineer.
Missed. 76 just missed him.
And the Tiger, I don't know if it even knows what's hitting him right now. It's real close.
It's hard, and his angle. He's got the corner locked down.
Getting knocked Coco down, and Switzers. And you can see he just aimed to the corner of the building. The tank ain't there, my man. Tank is behind the building. I mean, but it's just a matter of inches. Boom. Takes out the MG, though, in the process of trying to hit that tank.
Crossfire tank crewman still there for the reps.
And he just took out the crewman. Did he? No. Took out the engineer for Broken Arrow. He may have just moved into line of sight.
Tiger knows. Hit.
And you can see here, I mean, this is a critical moment. Can ICF take out one of these Tigers? Oh, barely missing. He hits the building.
Sheep, go to that U.S. tank real quick. I want to see this. He have engineers on him?
No engineers on him currently.
That may cost him this fight. May not. We'll see.
But you can see here just the I mean, like literally, like have pins and needles, dude. The intel is just critical to get these shots in, and man, just
problem is Broken Arrow doesn't have a big presence over there, so
no,
it's really line of sight.
Now they've actually pushed up a little bit more. That's what's fascinating is that they've pushed up a little bit more. You could see the line that they pushed. That they've gotten into these trenches here. Trying.
Look
to
at that bulge, though. There is a bulge coming off of the jungle area, the gardens.
Yeah.
Not a big presence there right now. ICF could make something happen here if they commit a few more guys. I don't know, though. Broken Arrow they've got that outside pressure along those hedgerows, and they're controlling some of that.
They've shown the ability to respond in numbers and coordination, and that's been critical for Broken Arrow.
It's everything. That's everything to hold them down that point.
It's absolutely
got
critical.
25, a little over 25 minutes left here, boys and girls.
But it has not been the affair that I think Broken Arrow was trying to tell us, the narrative that they were trying to tell us before. They played a lot more aggressively than we've seen them play, and it is paid off for Artie coming in, and Mikey laying down the hate with the guns, following up the Artie shot, but he gets singing out too.
I love seeing this Artie sheet. It is beautiful.
It just gets the blood
coming.
Just keeps the blood pumping. And Broken Arrow just pushing out through the front door onto their front lawn, but Artie coming in.
That Artie is like Rufus's dog up in here, right now.
And that's
I know that's funny.
Just like Wix was talking about, that's a hit on the Tiger. He's pushed out just a little bit out of the normal tanking position. Another hit on the Tiger, and he's having to move back.
Something's got to happen.
Moving back to the broken repair station behind him. So close. Artie, Tiger is down on the point.
Oh, you don't want to see that. That's a big resource
is a profit. And just like that, now here's the question. Can they capitalize? Can they capitalize with it?
I don't know. They've got...
Hang on, dude. Apologize for that, but we are back up and running. So sorry about that. Not sure what we lost, but in the meantime, 23 minutes left. Broken Arrow still in control of this match. A Tiger has just gone down. And the question is, does ICF and another hit on a Tiger? It's a deflection, though, this time on the second Tiger that is on the point. And Broken, and man, Wix's prophecy is coming true. The question is, can ICF capitalize on it? And by the way, we are live, so please no spoilers if you come in from the match. Please no spoilers. Drummer, if you could, please don't put it on emote mode. We'll just do the live chat for now. Unfortunately, so sorry about that, but we are back up and running. You can see here, this is the first time that we've seen this Tiger. By the way, there was 3 Tigers in play. One is down, one is moving back, and one has been hit and had to move back a little bit. ICF getting a little bit of momentum here on the west side, but even more so, look at this right here, knocking on the door. They have taken control of jungle.
Man, we may have to end it here, Sheep. Mr. Nitro wants it down, so we may have to end it. Put it on like some kind of delay.
Well, we'll keep the recording up and running. So sorry, but we're gonna have to cut it. So sorry about that.
I don't know if they've got a real shot here or not. I really don't know. They've got to commit, though, and they got to get audacious. Broken Arrow's response has been so immediate that ICF just hasn't had a shot to hang in there. I mean, at all. So, like Wix was saying earlier with the tanks, will they have enough time to get the tanks in here, and will they make those plays? Broken Arrow's line has gotten a little sporadic. This one may come down to the last couple minutes.
It really may. It really may. The real question is, do they get... I think this is where the creativity comes into play. Do they get something behind the line? We've seen a couple ICF guys getting back in. They've identified... Look at that. Just like that, there's a ping. Already played. They have identified it. Boom, goes down. 1,200.
Man.
And Lee Jack's holding it down. 1,200. He's a good friend of ours. And... just an absolute killer with a sniper rifle.
2 is always better than 1.
Absolutely.
You know, have your buddy with you on the battlefield.
Got
Already
the
coming
bombing
in.
run in play for Broken Arrow. Did they get? I don't know if there was a garrison there, but just like that, a bombing run through. It won't take out everyone, but it did take
Does
out
a
some
little
guys.
damage.
Did some damage for sure.
And if you're Broken Arrow right now, you're biding time, right? You don't want to collapse too much. You still want probe teams out there, but not a lot.
And this is what Wix was talking about earlier. They a lot of Broken Arrow guys up in this hockey stick right here. And Katon fight. Is that Shovel? I thought I saw a Shovel for a second there.
Huzzah, I think, was pulling it out.
Bro, they didn't have a
Not
choice.
sure.
I think they were all out of ammo, and they were literally having the knife fight. It was a helmet throwing situation right there. But I mean, ICF is not out of this yet. 19 minutes left, and they have a good amount of guys mounted up on the north side. The real question is, just like Wix was talking about, can they get the armor support in?
I don't think they're gonna do it.
I don't think so
we
either.
haven't seen
and that
it
would be
all
unfortunate.
freaking game.
Now here we go. There's a medium rushing up.
If this is the same Stewart crew, then maybe. The Stewart crew is what I've been most impressed by ICF. But my goodness.
That Stewart crew will live. If they lose, you know, they should go in the Seasonals Hall of Fame for that move right there, 100%. When
that was crazy.
When there's a highlight reel at the end of the Seasonals, that will live in infamy as one of the top clips, 100%. And look at this, already smoke coming to play. You don't see this a whole lot in competitive play, but there's already smoke coming up on the point. The question is, can ICF use it to move in? Infantry pushing out for Broken Arrow.
Look at these shots. It is becoming Hell's Corridor along this road.
Dude,
ICF knows they have to push it. What choice do they have?
Yeah, push out of the smoke. They have to push out of the smoke.
An airhead, maybe a cheeky airhead.
I just don't see it. I just don't see it.
I don't see it either. Not at all.
Not out of the fight yet, for sure. And ICF has shown a ton of spirit. This is really interesting. Almighty driving in a supply truck on the point. Is there a garrison? There is a garrison on the point. Are they gonna build up the point? I'm not sure what, or AT, you know, this may be what Wix was talking about, but for the opposite side, repair stations and AT guns may be what the call is here. You know, build in, you know, hunker down in. You got 18 minutes left, no point, and they've completely given up on cattle sheds with good reason. And now just focus on the defense. But ICF winning some gunfights.
You got to get smoke out. If you're ICF, you have to get concealment right now. You have no choice, dude. I mean, the time limit, you have to make audacious plays, and they got to be the right plays. And if you don't make them, the match is over. You don't win it. You don't win it at all. Let's hear from Wix, Sheep. Let's see what he thinks with this short time frame left.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we're running out of time here. We saw ICF get the one Tiger kill. The other one's still kind of lingering on that hill, and kind of the job of that last Tiger, the one Tiger there for Broken Arrow, is stay alive. Just don't die, because your presence there is way more important than any kind of kill that you can secure. I hope he's still there.
Yeah, he is, but he just got hit.
Yeah, you gotta keep this guy alive, because otherwise they're gonna have a potential issue with tanks. So keep your Tiger alive. You know, keep your guys disciplined, guarding their lanes. Push if you can push, but don't give up any ground for free. And I mean, 16 minutes left, just settling for a grind. Like, I don't know that we're going to see too much exciting happen over the last 16 minutes, unless ICF can make some progress on the front door. I don't think there's going to be any kind of crazy plays. There's not a lot of time for that, but for sure it's not over yet. ICF gonna keep pushing. If they've got some tanks lingering out there somewhere that they can push in, there's still certainly time for that. But you got to start looking at, you know, all your options, all your assets if you're ICF, and say, you know, how can we combine these into a winning play here, because they're not in a great spot right now. They're not in a terrible spot, but they're running out of time.
Absolutely. And while you were talking, I mean, literally just multiple hits. They are struggling to keep this Tiger alive. Whatever is hitting this Tiger has this Tiger's number. Fortunately, 2 engineers at a repair station is enough to keep it up. But, I mean, just barely staying alive. ICF, I agree 100%, but look at this. Was that a medium that was launching shots on this Tiger? He's certainly getting shots on it. Moving down, look at this push by ICF with infantry coming behind him. But he's got infantry all around him.
This is the push.
18 shot to the front.
Oh my gosh, it's happening. I don't. Broken Arrow responding in kind. Just listen to this gunfire.
It just sounds like a symphony of death on the north side of dugout. ICF, I mean, literally, like, they have 15 minutes to stay alive in this tournament. That is what's happening right now. 15 minutes to stay alive. Hurt bad, but not out of it yet. ICF. And look at this right here. Two guys
coming on
pushed around to the south side with another Tiger in play. But guess what? 18 and assault. Oh my gosh. The one tank come into the support. Oh, but they're running around. There's another Tiger. There's 3 Tigers in play. And look at this.
ICF not out of this fight. Is he going to satchel it? What's he doing here?
Here's what's fascinating. This is what happened. They drove a supply truck all the way around, tried to get a Gary up. The tank got it.
Satchel on it.
Is that a satchel on?
The Tiger.
I'm looking. Satchel. Yep. Satchel on the Tiger.
He doesn't know. This is a big play for ICF. Huge play for him. Oh my God.
And on top of it, also, this is a moment right here. Squad leader, shovels.
Look at this! Look at this! Chase him down!
But he gets him down!
Oh!
Tula's still up! He's a squad leader!
The OP's gonna matter. Okay, guys.
He's repairing. He's bandaging up. Tiger is down. There was a Tiger running up to the point. So there's probably 2 Tigers in play. Sasquatch holding it down. He is the only one out here.
He's got
an OP is down for ICF on the southwest side. Do they get a push? There's no one on the point. Garrison is underneath here.
We're going to see cap pressure.
Garrison. History builder holding down the south lane. There's one Tiger here. The other Tiger is going down. They didn't hold it down. One Tiger in play left. The medium is down as well. And they're holding it down, but the south side.
Guys, I know we had some technical issues, but the last 10 minutes of this match is going to be what you came for. It is going to be insane play. Both teams fighting tooth and nail over this point. This is what you want to see. This is everything right now. What do you think, Chief?
Progress in favor of ICF. They still got the Garrison on the point.
Broken Arrow's got to push front door right now.
ICF has to go. They have to get there. That was a prox cap. Was what that was. One spawn.
They don't know they're behind him. Oh my!
Can they coordinate this
in the rear?
ICF, this is the time. Coordinate and move. They have lots of pressure. They literally on this south line here. I mean, and you could see Broken Arrow pushing out north. Look at that, just like that. Equipment goes down.
ICF getting presence from the garden as well here. They're going to try an anvil approach, where basically, like an anvil, you got 2 points, and then its strength funnels in towards its base.
History builder gets 1. Down it goes.
These gunfights are everything. They're everything. Lionheart's got to take him out.
He gets him. Get on the point.
Did he go down?
The Garrison.
I just lost Lionheart. He's down.
He's down. There's no one on the point.
Are they going to push the Gary? Do they know the Gary's there?
I don't know, but they're not pushing it.
They're going to redline it here in a minute.
History builder just spawned on his OP.
MG, they're watching it. They're watching the Gary with it. No, what is this guy doing?
MG pushing.
He's seeing that.
Maybe, I don't know. Are they waiting for a strike?
They're waiting for a spawn. What are the resources at right now? Bombing runs are going to be vital.
Tons of munitions. That's a bombing run. That's a bombing run for ICF. Does he take out the Garrison? And that's done.
No,
the Garrison
remains, and the MG went down for ICF right there.
But there's still a squad leader left. Did not get the Garrison. That was their chance, man. And it's just the positioning of the Garrison is it just saved them. It saved them. They identified where the Garrison at. I mean, honestly, maybe they should have pushed it. I don't know. But look,
I
ICF
think they
still
should've.
pushing.
That was a cost. That was a costly maneuver.
I think ICF should have pushed that. There's an airhead. That is an airhead for ICF
Keep
now.
it clean.
But my boy,
Just
get to the line, Tool, Brian, get to the line.
Tool may keep it up long enough. They've got to commit everyone in this team. They have to get some redeploys. They got no choice. ICF has to get more audacious.
Broken Arrow is just hanging on the thinnest of margins right now. And the real question is, do they get a spawn wave? Down he goes. Was it enough, though? Is it enough space? 30 seconds is the goal.
They know. Broken Arrow knows that
Spawn
airhead's there. There it is. Full commit. Full commit. They're going to have to... This is it. This is the play from ICF. Are they going to be able to pull it out, though?
I hear a bombing run. I hear a bombing run. Boom, it goes. It's going to get it all.
Broken Arrow.
It's going to get it all. Broken Arrow gets it all.
What a bombing run. That was everything. That was it. That was it. That was a play game right there. That was
a Stewart on the point for ICF. He just driven in on the point.
You almost can't even capture everything going on right now. It is so intense.
Oh my God, just cap pressure in favor of ICF.
Pressure for ICF. Spawn on ICF. Spawn
on ICF.
Oh my God. No ping. Artie. We got to see Artie come in. Oh my gosh. Broken Arrow's got to come in.
There's a 76 as well. Gary is still up, but it's got to be locked. Cap pressure going back in favor of Broken Arrow. They're flooding in from the north side. Big spawn wave on the north side for ICF out of Gardens.
Oh my God.
They're going to have to come in.
Look at it. Both bombing runs
76
used
is
up.
down.
Limited abilities.
Stewart's still up.
From both teams.
Oh my gosh, it doesn't get more hectic than this. And down it goes. The Tiger is coming.
Tiger coming in. Reinforcements needed bad right now.
ICF just on the, man, us on the thinnest of margins. And another thing just went down. Not sure what that was, but the Tiger is up on the point. Look at this, a 76 driving in.
This tank battle may determine the outcome of this game.
But he's been hit on the side. AT, 2 hits.
And again.
By Mikey.
And again.
The Tiger
was trying to run out on him.
The Tiger is looking for him.
Look how close they are. Less than 100 meters right now. 76 has got a full retreat.
Down goes the 76. And another 76 tank driving in.
Another one coming in. ICF doing a full commit. Broken Arrow collapsing.
ICF doing whatever they can. A Satchel trying to get on this 76, but if he keeps driving, he ain't going to get him.
76 says, I'm going in, boys.
And boom, right in front of him, gets the hit on the Tiger on the move.
Hit it. Who can rotate fast enough? He's in the devil's den right now.
Down goes the 76.
Oh.
And Broken Arrow making the plays that matter. There was cap progress multiple times for ICF, but ICF couldn't seal the deal. Broken Arrow responded in kind. They got the tank kills. The Tiger is still up in play. 3 Tigers in the span of maybe 3 or 4 minutes have gone down. And Broken Arrow, you can see here, they've had to collapse. But they've done it. They've held it.
Artie coming in now.
They've had to redo the garrison. The garrison is now outside of the cover, but I mean the bombing run's gone. I don't think there's another bombing run. I don't think there's another airhead coming. And now it's just whatever ICF can push from Gardens. You can see here big spawn wave for ICF. And just
ICF got to get some more tanks up there. Let's get Wix's thoughts here in the last couple minutes.
Yeah, guys, I think we just watched the climax of the match right there. It was kind of like what we had been, what we mentioned earlier, right? A few Tigers went down. ICF saw the opportunity and they just sent it. We saw the bombing run, the airhead, 3 or 4 tanks pushing. That was their bonsai charge right there, and we saw a few big plays from Broken Arrow to kind of snuff it out. We saw the extremely timely bombing run from Almighty to take out the airhead and everybody that spawned on it. We saw the Tiger and Broken Arrow AT working together to kill that 76. That 76 would have gone down, or sorry, the Tiger would have gone down to that 76. But for the rockets from Stealthy weakening it enough that the 76 can kill the Tigers with one shot. Just huge plays at the time where the exact time where they needed it. And that's why we see Broken Arrow still in control of dugout right now. And with 5 minutes left, you wonder what ICF has to be able to make any dent in that. I'm assuming all their tanks are gone. We saw their bombing run go. We saw their airhead. Those aren't coming back before the 2-minute mark hits. So I think it's over right now, honestly. I mean, ICF's going to try their hardest, but I think we just saw Broken Arrow had a few players showing up at the biggest moment when they needed it, get the job done, and repel that kind of last stand charge.
100%. I couldn't agree with you more.
Accurate.
And
could not be more accurate.
And you could just see this already rain in hell. I mean, this is what's happened. They know where there's nowhere else for ICF to push. They're just gonna push down main road. Artie is laying it down. A Tiger has gotten Overwatch on the road, and the infantry is just pushing up through gardens. There's nothing left. There's nothing left for ICF to do, I think, at this point. I mean, if they're gonna win, it's gonna be by luck. Just purely by luck and winning every single gunfight. I just don't think it's gonna happen. They got Artie smoke coming in play. Artie! Body part just
here
flying.
It comes. This, if ICF has any chance in hell, it's just, it's a Hail Mary all-out push. But Broken Arrow's not going to give them the damn room to do it.
No.
And man, look at this. Look how you've got the majority of the players all around the gardens.
I mean, it's the whole freaking team at this point.
Look at this. Look at this. This is about to be a bloodbath. Now's when you want that, Artie. And ICF winning a few of the gunfights here.
That's a strafe along the line. The garrison is right there, but just like Wick said, there's nothing left. There's nothing
Resources
left in the tank.
burned. They're burned.
The timing on it too. The bomber run's gone. The airhead's gone. All your tanks are
gone.
gone.
You've got a minute 30 to make something happen, and I mean, they're trying. Hats off to them for trying. It ain't easy.
You know, you got to give credit to Broken Arrow. I think Wick hit it on the nail. Guys in Broken Arrow, and this is what we talked about in the match right before in the pre-match. That guy, you know, sometimes guys just show up when the time is now. When the pressure's on the line, they step up and they become better. And Broken Arrow showed that, man. Broken Arrow showed that.
North America as a whole has showed up for seasonals. It's
Absolutely.
insane.
Syndicate,
it's a different North America.
Yeah, Syndicate has sealed their way into the tournament in a 4th seed, and Broken Arrow is going to do the same as well. TL got 3rd seed, I believe, and then Esprit got 1st seed. So all 4 North American teams are still alive in the tournament, and they eliminated, you know, unfortunately, I believe all most of the Chinese teams, except for FOC, have been knocked out. Cerberus still has a chance to get their way into a 4th seed, and that'll come into a match tomorrow. But at this point, it's not been a great showing for China, but a great showing for North America. And Broken Arrow has got to be pleased with themselves after this match.
They really do. They really, really do. I mean, they came out, they showed up, and they blitzed. Their aggression, I think, is really what solidified this win for them. I mean, and that's
Artie! Brutal!
Look at it coming. Golly. And
Cap Progress
that's
now.
A wrap.
That's a wrap. Cap Progress now in favor. It's just icing on the cake. Is that even procs? It's a tank. It's a medium tank that is rushed up through, getting shots in, just capping it. They've gotten it back, but I mean that's it. Airhead coming in play. That's just excess at this point. It's over. A minute 36 left, and ICF having to respond, but that's it. That's it. So now that this match is over, I mean, so now Broken Arrow and Syndicate are the 2 winners so far today for seasonals. No, like I was talking about, they'll have 4th seed going into seasonals in the group stage of the tournament. So I mean, that's going to be a tough matchup. Whoever they have to play, whether that be, a couple of those matchups are yet to be determined. A couple of those teams yet to be determined. But you know, Greyhounds and Esprit. You know, imagine. I mean, 2 of the 4th seed teams are North American, and one of them is one of the 1st seeds North American as well. Imagine a Syndicate versus a Esprit matchup. Imagine a Broken Arrow versus a spree matchup. North America versus North America. Extremely exciting prospects. You know, Greyhounds versus one of these two teams as well.
It's wild. I mean, it's wild. This match has been wild, Sheep. I mean, absolutely insane in the membrane.
Absolutely. And just like that, that's it. We're done. We're done. And just exciting stuff, man. Just you couldn't ask for a better match, really. I mean, just unbelievable, man.
You really couldn't. You really couldn't. I mean, I am so stoked with the way it turned out. Not saying I'm rooting 100% for Broken Arrow, but I got a little bit of a bias for our North American friends out there. And they showed up tonight. They showed out, and said, hey, we're here to play. We're not messing around. And tonight's the night.
Yeah,
100%.
absolutely. And, you know, I just want to point this out. I got a commend from the Fat Egg. So shout out to the Fat Egg for giving me a commend. I didn't do nothing in the match at all, but hey, I'll freaking take it.
Hey, you know? Yeah, take it. Take the 0 commend points. But shout out to Wiggs tonight for joining us. Really appreciate him out on the stream.
Couldn't have asked for a better, you know, the insight was just on point. It was just amazing. It was just absolute, and it was a real breath of fresh air to have on the stream. Wix, we thank you so much for all that you did for us on this. Guys, I apologize. You know, sometimes technical difficulties happen. And obviously we will post the VOD with all of it connected. There'll be a little bit of a gap in there. But for the most part, it should be pretty well connected.
Yeah, we'll get it squared away.
Get it squared away.
That happens. Sometimes OBS and Twitch, I mean, all it takes is a small lag spike and it kills you. Yeah. That's all it takes.
Absolutely. So let's go ahead and look at the schedule real quick. We're going to go back to it and kind of look at it. So we have 2 matchups coming up tomorrow. FOC versus EG is coming up tomorrow. We have WTH versus Refuge is coming up tomorrow as well. So be tuning in for that. And then obviously we've had 2 lower play-in matches that have already happened. Syndicate and Broken Arrow have punched their ticket in. But 2 big matchups tomorrow. Phoenix versus the Circle is going to be casted by Jabonium at 2 p.m. Central. And then Cerberus versus Ronin, which is going to be casted by Angelo De La Morte and Kips. So be on the lookout for that. And guys, we just really appreciate you guys for the comments, for viewing. You know, M80, you have any other thoughts on the matchup or anything?
No, that's all I've got. Are we looking to do a raid tonight, Sheep?
Yeah,
are we looking to pump somebody out? So hang out for a few more minutes. Let's make somebody's night, guys.
Absolutely.
Make their
weekend. Thank you so much. Apologize again for the delays, but thank you for tuning in with us and being so respectful and just nice to us, I guess, in general. So what we hope
we love the community. The community's full of a bunch of great guys and gals.
Absolutely. So appreciate you guys.
All right. Pleasure being on here with you, Sheep. We'll see you next time.